Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs. Welcome to Minecon Earth with the Spawn Chunks. Hope you guys are having a good one. It looks like the stream is already about to start. I'm just going to try and dial in Joel's webcam real fast because it looks like we're having a couple of minor technical issues here. So bear with me for 1 second. In the meantime, enjoy the start of the stream.
Welcome to Minecon Earth 2018.
Gotcha.
How are you doing? My name's Julia Hardy, and I'm going to be taking you through all of the proceedings today, all the way from start to the very, very finish, because we've got so much great stuff.
Julia Hardy?
lined up for you today.
Was she the lady who presented last year? I think she was.
She was, yeah. I recognize the piercing on her nose.
Thankfully, guys, we have closed captions being presented along with the stream, which is amazing. So hopefully us talking over it will not worry you guys too much. But if you want me to roll the volume up, I will be rolling it up for some of the more important stuff later on, so please let me know. In the meantime, welcome. Welcome, you guys. It's amazing to have this many people here in the chat. For those of you guys who don't know us and have just kind of rolled in off the cuff, my name is Pixlriffs. I'm a Minecraft content creator, YouTuber, streamer, and podcaster now, thanks to my good buddy down here below me. This is Joel Duggan, podcaster extraordinaire, and recent convert to the world of Minecraft. Joel's been playing for, what do you say, about a year and a half, 2 years now?
A year and a half. Definitely, yeah, a year and a half. It'll be 2 years in March.
We have to celebrate that anniversary somehow, I think.
Yeah, it should be kind of fun. I mean, and I wanted to mention that because to give people perspective, like I've only just kind of come into Minecraft, I think just before the World of Color update.
Yeah.
So
like,
I don't have like a long, torrid history with the game. It's a newfound love.
We talked a little bit about this in our first episode of the podcast, actually. This is the Adventure Time Minecraft episode. And we got to saw a very brief bit of that. Oh, look at Scar on stage with all those people. Awesome
nice
stuff. So this is probably going to be a bit of a kind of year in review kind of thing, a clip show and stuff, maybe some flashbacks to previous Minecon events. I remember them having a costume contest like that on stage at Minecon Earth, where I got this. I'm wearing my t-shirt. It's the most legit occasion on which I can wear this t-shirt, because I got my Minecon Earth party t-shirt from last year.
So I don't have a t-shirt. However, I do have a Christmas gift from my friend Alistair that I should be able to put in the camera here.
Oh, there it is. We've got a mascot.
Yeah. So we have an unofficial mascot. Truth be told, if we're going to put him anywhere as appropriate, it should be like right there.
Yes, totally.
Behind me. Like that would probably be the best place for him. Because that's about where they always show up.
Yeah. Always just a little bit behind you and to the right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if I'm not going to be reading the chat quite as often as I get to in my regular streams. It's also moving really fast because we have over 140 people in the chat right now, which is minuscule compared to the numbers I'm seeing on the actual YouTube live stream. It's currently being watched by over 34,000 people.
Wow.
Azuma's videos are happening. Oh my goodness. This is so funny to me to watch this out of the context of doing stuff for the Hermitcraft recap.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much to Paranor, who is currently moderating in the chat.
Yes, thank you very much. Appreciate that. It's a lot to keep up of. I was streaming last night, and even just having twice the normal people, which for me is like 12, keeping up with the chat was really challenging.
Yeah. This game of streaming. They're trying to push a dolphin into the water manually. Dolphins are so goofy.
So this is this like a year in review recap that we're watching?
I think it is, yeah. They've been pretty vague about what the schedule has in store for us. This is just the kind of 30-minute pre-show where they're probably just looking back on what's happened in the last year. This is looking through, from what I can tell, features of the update Aquatic, because they had Azuma talking about chests being placed next to each other. They had some people playing with a dolphin, some stuff about water, I think. There's a whole lot happening. And, you know, the YouTube community for Minecraft has just been going crazy with this update. It's so good to see this amount of, like, variety of content and everybody who was previously a modded player getting back into vanilla. Hey, that's the map I played with Zloy. That's the Dwarven Mining Company map.
Mining Company. Yeah.
Got an episode 1 of that out on my channel. Never released episode 2, sadly, because we got busy right around the time we were going to record more of it.
Wow, that's cool.
I love the music as well. The music in Minecraft always gets me every time. Any of those, like, the music discs and stuff come on, I'm like, this feels... It's weirdly almost nostalgic. It's Loy! It's Loy and Mythical Sausage! Hey! Shout out to you guys if you're watching in the chat. I know Mythical Sausage is in the chat. There he is.
That's cool.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, he said that some of his footage was going to be shown on the pre-stream, so that's really cool.
I would guess they couldn't surprise anybody. They'd have to reach out and ask permission.
Yeah, no, they definitely asked for permission. Both him and Daphne Elaine, who is also on the Decidedly Vanilla server with us, said that they've been reached out to by the team and asked for permission. Daphne was actually on the live stream last year. She was one of the people kind of who went on. He came on and did like a kart racing mini game. She was actually there for the presentation. It was really cool.
Okay. Do you know? Can you understand me, by the way?
This guy is.
So
is
what?
That Tomahawk? I think that's Tomahawk. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. No. I don't. I like. This is where my I guess youth in the Minecraft community really shows, is that I don't know who any of these people are outside of Zloy and some DV people that I know through you. But that's it. You know, like, I mean, all this content is just like, there's just, well, I mean, it's impossible. Like, there's just so much stuff.
Yeah,
out there, right?
The community is huge. Basically, every day I'm encountering somebody with 1 million subscribers who I've never heard of before. So it's
right. Yeah,
it's
and
fine.
it seems
like,
kind of baffling. Yeah.
And feel free to get hype in the chat if you see somebody that you recognize, because even if we don't spot people that we know, then there's definitely going to be somebody in the chat who's like a big fan of basically anybody who turns up in this stream. It's always amazing to see like,
these
the
animations
animation
that they do.
I was exactly saying the same thing. It's so cool seeing the way the community takes the style of Minecraft and adapts it to stuff like this. Really cool.
Yeah, I mean, the
roll
models
this up.
are obviously limited to reflecting Minecraft, but like in watching some of these clips in our tech stream yesterday, like the animation is very well done.
It is.
You know, like the timing, and they're obviously people that are trained animators. Like, they're not just goofing around. You know?
Yeah,
They're professionals that are having some fun with a personal project. You know.
And so many people like I think Captain Sparkles is now known for having music video style things like this, where it's like it's almost like Minecraft is the medium used to express what's happening in the music rather than it just being like specifically a Minecraft related song. Like, so many of the songs sound a little bit more kind of generic dance tunes that don't necessarily reference anything in world for Minecraft. But it's really cool seeing it used as like an animation medium. Oh, here's trouble.
Oh yeah, no, this guy I recognize.
This guy.
You can create some pretty cool patterns for your animal.
Oh my goodness.
101. If you've made it to this
Man's
point
got
of the
too many
video, thank you
ideas.
so much for watching.
Yeah,
the
just a few.
final tip for you is to subscribe.
Just a few. I have really been enjoying Grian on Hermitcraft this year, I have to say.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
he's got a lot of great ideas, and is just the level of mischief that is required for that kind of server.
When did that happen?
Do we even play this game?
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I feel like there's always been pranks and stuff like that in watching Hermitcraft, but Grian just brings a level of just pure for the fun of it. He doesn't necessarily have to build anything. He just kind of wants to poke around and cause some grief.
Just like how big the game
Folks, do let me know in the chat if the volume levels are okay. I have rolled the volume up a little bit so you guys can hear the live stream a little bit better, but if that's conflicting with our voices at all, please let me know.
So the biggest one, well, actually, so one of the clips in it was from our friend Stacy Plays, and we're on her server.
Everybody in the chat is currently leaving their favorite spellings of Grian's name.
Updates.
There's this running joke between him and Azuma Void now, where they have like they try and butcher
water,
each other's names as much as possible.
land.
Volume is okay?
That's
Okay, cool. Good to know.
hilarious. But yeah, we got to do that server and explore all stuff that like I had no idea about. Like we had the tridents and the dolphins.
So just, I
and
guess while we're waiting
turtles and,
for
like, waiting
the
for
stream
turtles
to
to
begin, we
hatch,
got about
and it's
20
been
minutes or
awesome.
so.
Like, that whole
For
update
not the
is
stream, but the actual
awesome.
Minecon Earth proper. I'm curious for people in the chat. There's going to be a vote for what biome that you want to have updated first. There's taiga, desert, and savanna. And I want to know who's flying the flag of Team Savannah versus desert versus taiga.
That's got to be the big question that we know about already, at least. Who's let's sound off in the chat.
Yeah, I'm seeing Savannah, taiga, Desert. Wow, desert. Someone's team desert.
Paranor is somehow Team Desert. Just really wants meerkats, I think.
Man, I'm seeing a lot of taiga.
Yeah,
That's
I feel like
surprising.
I feel like the foxes are swinging it for tiger because foxes are super cute, and I think, to be honest, I have foxes in my backyard, so maybe they're not like as special to me as they are to everybody else. But like some people are really like into the fox idea.
Your backyard is going to be trashed if you don't vote. If you don't vote
totally.
taiga.
They're going to protest out there. There'll be like pickets and everything.
Yeah, it'd be like, Mike, like, yeah, Larry, did you see that Pixlriffs voted for Savannah? Yeah, let's trash everything.
Yeah, let's. He wants ostriches instead of us. What?
Yeah.
Apparently he wants termites. We can introduce his house to some termites.
Yeah. Is it me or in those videos, which are very cool, the reveal videos about what's coming for the ideas or potential ideas for those biomes, I was disappointed that a lot of the animals are pretty small. You know, like meerkats, foxes. Like I was really hoping for something. I mean, maybe they don't want to necessarily reveal that in the announcement videos versus the actual Minecon, but I was really hoping for something larger. You know, like an elephant or a bear. Like again, stuff that you think would be obvious, like foxes, not obvious to me.
Yeah,
you know.
I think ostriches can get pretty big though, so I think we're going to be.
Oh yeah, no,
surprised by the
they're a
ostriches.
big bird, but you don't think of them as a massive animal. They're a tall animal. You know.
Yeah.
Like you not only play Minecraft at home,
So
Zloy
just said he wants giant throwable ostrich eggs,
which
like you know throwing eggs at people just doesn't really do all that much. You want an egg that can leave like lasting damage. You want to be able to like really bruise somebody with an egg.
Yeah.
That's what you go for.
That's funny.
I think ostrich eggs are actually really hard to get into as well. Like the shell on those is kind of thick.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about an egg that size that kind of freaks me out.
Yeah, that's like,
You know, like-
slightly unsettling.
Yeah,
You-
like
you-
now,
you
why,
imagine it-
why I wouldn't want to eat a normal, like, I mean, I'm fine eating eggs. I eat eggs every morning, but an ostrich egg? Nope.
Yeah. You imagine putting it on the shelf in your fridge and it just takes up the entire thing. It's like, imagine an ostrich egg box. It'd just be like 6 of the things in a row. It'd be like the size of a shelf in your cupboard or something.
Liara, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right in the chat, says yolk on your face for 5 seconds is blinding.
Oh, yeah, the blindness effect. That could be
Gross.
pretty easy to implement. I imagine somebody with an add-on might have done that already, because I've definitely seen some interesting creatures in add-ons.
Yeah, I've seen some excellent models in mod packs and stuff like that. Just different versions of cows and chickens and
it's such a sort of special place that
I've even seen blue jays.
Yeah.
Back to like episode 3. It's a bunch of-
The old favorite blue jay.
Of the amount of
Yeah.
possibilities in the game.
Yep.
Like even like
Although funny, I don't
way back
remember
in, like, some of
hearing
the
a blue
earlier
jay
versions, like,
in that
you
mod
could do
pack.
so
I
much
see
with
them,
the game.
but I don't
You
remember
would never
hearing.
ball.
You're like, I would recognize that sound, the bane
Yeah.
of my life.
Yeah, they sound a lot like phantoms.
Speaking of phantoms, they were the result of the mob vote last year. Who in the chat voted for phantoms to be added to the game? Do you remember what mobs you voted for? I was pretty heavily in favor of Mob C, which was the giant kind of alligator mouth one.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I voted for, but I also really like that undersea monster that they were pitching.
Yeah, the one
It
that
was like
could
a-
like drag you down and wouldn't let you get to the surface. And it's funny because in the update Aquatic, you can actually surface really fast because of the way swimming mechanics work. So it's interesting that instead we got sort of the opposite in a way. We just didn't get the drag down. I think the drowned are a pretty good compromise though, because I've seen various people like quote unquote pro Minecrafters. I mean, like the people on Hermitcraft, whenever a trident wielding drowned comes up, they run from that guy.
Oh, they hurt. If you're
Yeah.
wearing a Elytra, if you don't have a chest plate on, it's rough. It's like 3 hearts a
Absolutely.
hit or something like that. Depends
Yeah,
on
yeah.
how square they are with you. But
in not too
Yeah.
long a time, we'll be going to the main stage for the
Zloy, don't be mean to the
Minecon
presenters. They're doing their
Earth
best.
Full performance. I'm excited to know if there's going to be like a musical number at the end, like
I think you
last
voted
year,
for the
because that
water
would be
one.
Hilarious and wonderful.
Their bubbles
It'd be
pulling.
fun.
Yeah, I guess the magma
and then
bubbles
at
kind of pulled
1:50,
you down,
we've got the
but
post
that
show, so
was
we're gonna be coming back
announced
here
last year.
backstage, and we're gonna have some
It
very,
was
very
really
special
funny
Right.
actually
kind of
looking at the
deconstruct everything
live
that's
stream from
happened
last year
and
when we were doing
what
our
actually
tech
went
demo.
on
I kind of skipped
backstage.
ahead a little
And,
bit
at
after
2:05,
that
we're gonna
to
have a
the
development
actual
panel.
announcement and
So
how
any of
different
the kind of,
coral
like,
blocks
really
looked,
super nerdy,
and so many of the
nitty-gritty
features
stuff
that you
about the
saw
game
so
we
much
really wanna know. We're
refinement
gonna kind of
between
touch upon all all of
time they
that, so
were
we go,
announced and the
like,
time they
deep,
actually got
you know,
released.
deep below the surface of Minecraft there. And then at 3:05, we're going to come back here, and it's going to be myself and Lydia wrapping up the
I feel like a
whole
lot of that
Minecon Earth. So
happened
there's loads of stuff that's
in like
still
even
to come up.
snapshots.
But
Like I
obviously,
remember
like, one of the
Phantoms
biggest
changing a
things,
lot
that happens
in the
every year
last
at
2 or 3
Minecon is
snapshots.
the
Like they really,
biome
it was all about
updates, and we had
behavior and
some
all about that kind of
fantastic
stuff. And then they went into
last
like
year.
the
But
skin
now,
and the look of
this
them.
year, we've got 3 to pick from, and obviously we're
So
actually
I remember the
choosing
one
order
disappointment
in
that I had
which
with
they will be
Phantoms
updated.
was
So we've got 3 to look at. So first of
in
them,
a
we
creative
have
video.
Savannah.
I think it might
So
have
in
been
Savannah,
Zoomovoid
we
that did
have
it. They were
emus, as you can see.
spawning in at different
We have
sizes.
the baobab tree,
Yeah.
which
But they're
is
all
that
the same
super weird,
size
like,
in the
tree
game.
in the
when
Yeah,
they
yeah.
actually
And we also
attack you.
have termite
It would
mounds,
be
which
cooler if they were
apparently,
larger.
they
Like,
eat
Yeah.
dead
because it
plants.
wouldn't be that
is
hard.
what
I mean, just make it
heard.
bigger, right?
Yeah.
They've got tags
how
behind
do
the
we feel
scenes
about
that do that kind of like
Savannah?
slimes where you can spawn in a
mean-
slime that's like
Oh,
up
sorry,
to
it's an
7
ostrich, not an emu. I thought
sizes
Are
bigger
Yeah.
they
and
the
stuff. You
same
can
thing? Are they not the same
in
thing?
theory you can
I
do
don't know.
larger, but I think it
No,
starts to
okay, all right.
cause performance issues at that
I
point.
know birds
Yeah.
really well. No.
I'm kind of disappointed that slimes don't
So
make
how do we feel
noise.
about this one?
Like they make a
So-
sloshy noise, but
well,
like they
first
don't
off, I
have
hope
like
you
a
can
moan or
ride
something.
They don't have like a
Emu
call
ostrich
to them.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It would be
I really
like it'd be
hope
really
that.
cool if they had
And
like some
also,
sort of grunt or
sad that it's the
gurgle or
day
something
I
like
I
that.
imagine them doing a little squeak,
uh,
like this
plants
massive
and
thing
trees
coming at you
because
and
I
just
kinda
making
hope
this
they'll,
really
like,
kind
use
of
that, like,
like
prank
Really?
quiet
like, put them in people's
noise,
houses
you know,
and have them
like
I
do
just
it.
I,
But
I
that
think it would be
sounds
fun
like a
if
great thing,
as it
right?
got
So
bigger,
it's
like if you
quite
could
like
have
that's the
a
thing.
slime
They're
in the
like
game that was
very,
like,
very,
you
very
know,
different
6 or 8
games.
times the size
Callum, what
of
do
a
you think?
big
What's your
slime.
version
Have
of
it
it?
be
It's
like
interesting to me because even though I said I'm not creating
slow moving and really
the way the
low
pictures
sounding,
actually
so it would make the
look,
same squeak, but it'd be like
stuff there almost looks like
squeak.
yeah,
a
it makes like the Inception brah noise, just bouncing towards you, bum. It would make it so great for my like superhero city with our kind of current slime infestation thing I've got going on my YouTube series to just like
Yeah.
have one of those come out of the water, brah, just with its own soundtrack.
What movie was that?
Really
Monsters
getting into
something
Yeah.
from DreamWorks where there's
This
a
is what we need
giant
to find out
ladybug
more
or a
information. We're
giant
basing this
moth,
upon
Was
Mothra,
like
Monst-
moth.
Was it
something?
like
And the
Monsters
second one
versus
is
Aliens
desert,
or
so let's
something?
take a
I
look.
think
Was
you're
that-
right. Yeah, Monsters vs Aliens.
So
But that
here we
was
are.
that
So
was
in desert
great
we
because
have,
there's this
an oasis,
giant
of course, palm
bug
trees, and
thing, and it was this cute
meerkats.
kind of
I
like
really like how it
Japanese
makes it
inspired
wiggly in the
design, but it
background
was
at
like
the
the
top.
size of a
Yeah.
block,
Yeah.
city block. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
What do you feel about this? Any kind of things that really grab you about it?
What grabs you guys about deserts? That's what they're asking in the stream
Yeah.
right
I'm
now.
wondering if it's like
I think the meerkats are going to be great. I imagine basically everybody will catch one and immediately name it Timon.
Or if you can tame them.
I feel like they should only add meerkats to the game if they also add warthogs. That's my opinion on the subject.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think that the desert like has so much cool
Look at all
stuff
the ripped
in it
jeans
that
on this
would make
couch.
it more viable to go to, which is really cool. The meerkats obviously
Just give them a
are
bass
huge
drum noise like Jaws. I
selling
like
point for me.
that.
love
I like
animals
that.
in games. I'm a big advocate for just putting more in it.
Everyone just needs to go to the
Yeah,
desert
like,
for
if you
sand.
look
That's
at
kind of
the
why I
YouTube
don't want them
right
to
now, where they
update
stand at the
deserts
back burner and,
first,
like, look
because
out. I'm a sucker for
you're
that.
already going to go there anyway. Like, I feel like the reason to update a biome is to make you want to go there more. Like, I rarely ever go to savannas. I quite regularly go to tigers, and I always go to deserts. So I feel like that's the main reason I want savanna to be a thing.
And we get berry bushes as well, as you can see there, and campfires.
Warthogs would be perfect too.
So this is
Especially if they're the warthogs from Halo. just, just add vehicles all of a sudden.
Yeah, again, like I'm kind of surprised the bears were not mentioned at all. Although I guess they might, if they have anything really cool and important, they're probably going to save it for the announcement.
Yeah.
Is going to be functional too.
They're asking if the campfire is going to be functional. That was my first question about it. Like, if you can use it as like a one-shot bed, if you can use it as like a furnace, if you have some other kind of use for it, if it like keeps away mobs in a larger area than a
Okay, so
torch.
if I have to push you
Cook
right
food,
now to commit to one that is your favorite.
They have that thing where the not beacons, what are they called? The underwater beacons.
Conduits.
Yeah.
Conduits. The conduits will kill drowned that come within a certain radius.
Yeah, they
Having
kill
a camp-
hostile mobs
yeah.
in general, yeah.
Having a campfire repel mobs, like have it be something that they won't come near.
Yes,
you know?
would be
cool.
fantastic, I think.
Although I guess they have to
So
turn off fire tick or have it not act like that kind
Yeah.
of fire, because otherwise you just burn the whole forest out.
I mean, it could be like a torch, right? You know, you don't tend to burn stuff down with a torch unless you're playing in modded and you have like more realistic physics enabled or something. But
Right.
Yeah.
if the campfires worked like mega torches, where they give you like a 100-block radius of either no mob spawns or, like you say, they repel stuff, you pop down a campfire and all of the zombies run away from it or something.
Oh man, for putting a fire in a fireplace in your home, if it doesn't spread fire, then that would be
Yeah,
fantastic.
that would be a
You know?
great addition actually. That's one
know?
use of campfires I hadn't even considered.
fireplaces, hearths, wood stoves. Like, think of all the different things that you could put inside of a house that you could then put an actual fire in for that cool glow.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about it burning down your entire build, right?
That'd be super great for people who don't have fire tick disabled, which is usually the first thing we run on our servers because we're builders. We like to chuck fire around wherever, you know.
We didn't do it, and unfortunately, we've been dealing with a lot of lightning, especially since 1.13 rolled in.
Yeah.
And my buddy Sharky, he lost his entire. He had like a 3-story treehouse that he built. It was all made of wood. And I logged in one day, and it was a bunch of floating doors, trap doors, and chests. I was like, oh,
Oh, that sucks.
And it's like the lightning must have hit at just the right spot at the bottom of the tree for it to spread up the whole thing. And yeah, and I've seen I recently actually yesterday after my stream, the barn that I have really large acacia wood barn, and it had massive holes in the roof. Massive holes. So there must be. I don't know what. I think it's people not sleeping during thunder and lightning storms. Like they let them roll, which I think maybe we have to add as a kind of a courtesy now.
Yeah,
Maybe the other thing is maybe I should discuss with the crew and see if we can turn off fire tick.
Both good arguments. I think
people are talking about voting in the chat, but I don't think the votes are open yet. If they open the vote, Paranor, can you pop a link in the chat if we happen to be talking over it at the time? I'm pretty sure all of the voting for the three-way biome vote is going to be happening via Twitter, so you will need a Twitter account in order to place a vote. But obviously the details of that are going to come up in the main live stream. They kind of like cued you into it when the Minecon stream happened last year, so I imagine this will be much the same.
But we do want you to go and vote because obviously
Astro joke, yes, we've got lots of backups of the world. The issue is that it's a pretty casual server, so I had been playing in a different zone and building a lot of things for quite some time before I returned to the main area and noticed that the tree was burnt down. And Steven hadn't, that's Sharky, that's the guy that built it. He hadn't logged in months. He's busy. He's got a couple of kids. So like we didn't notice until it was too late. And then we had no idea at what point it was, what's going on. But it ended up being kind of like a cool family affair. I whitelisted his kids on the server, and so the three of them logged in and helped him rebuild it. Like
that's awesome.
It was cool father-son moment, with his kids to kind of come in, and they helped him design it in the first place. So.
I'm wondering if I end up having kids in the future, if they're going to end up playing Minecraft with me, or if it's just going to be that weird thing Dad does that we don't like. They're like, I want to go outside and like play football and things like.
Right,
all this video game stuff that Dad does. It's so uncool.
Yeah. I wonder if it's going to have a full swing.
It really focuses on creative mode. We were thinking about how when people start playing.
Do you know if
they're
like? Do we know if there's any like celebrity hosts like they had last year for Minecon?
Oh, I expect so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Big B Stats, OMG Chad, like a few of the other major kind of people. Like I think Log.zip might be involved again this year. There's going to be a few people popping up that you'll definitely have heard of from,
Oh, I knew about the Minecraft community people. It was the I think last year it was like Will Arnett.
Oh yeah, I was going to say who is this year's Will Arnett is what you're thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know for certain. I don't know if they've revealed that. I've certainly not been keeping up with it that closely. So
yeah, it's pretty much like a floating theme park in the sky filled with challenges. This is a home base area.
So now they're looking at like a theme park world.
Yeah, this is a map that they've done that's kind of like a creative building project thing, I think.
This looks so cool.
I always love the music people put in these things as well. Even if it's not like the official Minecraft music, it's always got this kind of the same sort of tone, the same sort of
this one's about
melancholy, but also hope.
Yeah, it's really pretty laid back. That's cool that they do these neat. I like the diagonal stuff. That's difficult.
Yeah.
Even when it's a very simple build,
It's really fun because you put a map in your hand and you can kind of see it come to life while you put all the blocks
I think this might be one of the maps that's on the Minecraft Marketplace as well for Bedrock players.
Yeah. It's funny that it's really cartoony.
Yeah.
Yes,
like it feels like an old school Nintendo game sort of thing.
Of course. And even though we made
That's
this world for people who are newer to Minecraft or new to creative mode, We also put a few
Right. So, and
surprises
that's
in
it's
there
funny.
for
Like I was just
advanced
thinking
builders,
that like it
too.
feels like
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool stuff they can
I don't
find
want to
and
say
do.
they
a
can
dumbed
really
down
challenge
version, but it
themselves.
feels like
Oh,
it's
that's
a
so
very
cool.
accessible
This
map.
sounds like so fun.
Yeah,
Can you
totally.
make this
And
for
they
real,
were
please?
just saying on the
Like in
stream
real
that they've
life,
made
so
it for
this is-
people that are newer to
I
Minecraft.
mean, it'd be
Yeah.
quite
And that's a very
expensive, I'm sure,
official
but,
looking
like,
logo as well.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah.
I'd go there.
It's
I'd
cool.
definitely
Like
go
it's
there.
you forget sometimes
so
once you
yeah,
get deep into this
when can we
game and
get
you
it?
start
When
to
can we
get
get
into
our
the
hands
real
on it?
nuances of it.
Yeah,
That
so
there's a
it's
lot of
coming out
stuff
later
that's
this
out
fall,
there
and
that's
it will be
really
free
good
in the
for the
marketplace.
Oh my God,
7-year-old that is
amazing.
spending their
Really pleased
first
with how it's come
weekend,
out.
I'm
messing
really
around in
proud of
Minecraft
it.
and has
Yeah, a
no
huge group
idea,
of people worked
up
on
from
this,
down
and we can't wait for
in the
everyone to
game.
do it.
And you
Yeah.
forget that there's a
Maybe
lot
I'll
of
see you
content out
guys
there
in
that's
there
really
too.
accessible
You can
for,
have a go.
for kids.
Yeah.
That map apparently free in the marketplace.
Really
I think I
help
just heard them
build it
say.
quick.
So
Cool.
that's definitely going to be one to download if you're new to the game, feel like playing around in creative, but having a bit of like a guided creative experience rather than just like a big blank canvas and not knowing where to start.
I really need some help
this
with
all big-
building.
is this a
So
big
we've
setup?
created this for
That's funny. The guy on the
everyone.
right just said the same thing I did. He's just like, I've been playing for 6 years and I'm beyond this and I forget this kind of stuff exists. It's really cool.
Let's go to Inspiration Island. I'm ready.
Oh, amazing. That's really cool.
Sword to World, yes, the
I mean, we are
Hermitcraft panel
almost
is going to be
time for kind of
pre-recorded.
the
From
major,
what I
but not quite
understand,
yet,
they're
'cause I
going to
still wanna
upload
ask
the
you guys
full
some
panel as a
questions because
separate thing.
you guys
A
actually
couple of
on the
clips are
main
going to be
show.
shown live in this stream, I think in the post-show. But from what I understand, the full panel will not be airing as part of this broadcast.
Like what's happening? Can you tell us what's
Yeah, the way
going
that
on?
they broke down the schedule
little
on
dash
the
of us in there
Minecraft
later
Earth
on,
page
Little
is
little salt bay.
broadcast
Keep it
begins at
salt bay.
12:30. We're already
Hopefully a
watching
secret camera in
that.
there somewhere.
Um,
There's all a bunch of
Minecon
cool
Earth is at 1
secret
p.m.
stuff that we
That's in
actually don't
5
know about.
minutes, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
They literally,
2:50
like,
p.m.
during
is the
rehearsals
post show.
shut
So there's like
off
an
everything.
hour
They were
and,
like, really,
and
come on.
50
And they were like,
of
Yeah.
"No."
Minecon
Yeah,
Earth,
someone can
and
have
then
kind of all the
a
teams
developer
out,
panel
like,
is
like
15 minutes
secret-
later
They
at
came, turned it off,
3:05
I was like,
p.m.
"What's going on?" They were like, nope.
and then there's
Nope,
studio
it's
wrap
not
up. So like it's
until
a
there's-
solid
you
afternoon.
don't
Like there's a
trust
lot of
us.
stuff going on.
Just so you folks are aware, we will probably wrap up our stream around the same time as the post-show for Minecon Earth is happening. We won't be covering the developer panel, probably because we'll want to pay more attention to that ourselves. We'll probably be giving our thoughts on the whole Minecon Earth experience in this Monday's episode of The Spawn Chunks. So, by the way, seeing as we're still in the pre-show here, I may as well let people know. If you just tuned in and you're not certain why the two of us are together, we do a Minecraft podcast called The Spawn Chunks. It's available wherever you get podcasts and at thespawnchunks.com. We also have a Patreon page where you can support the show and join our Discord community. But yeah, that's where we're going to be sharing most of our thoughts on Minecon Earth. This is going to be kind of like a live reaction thing, our first kind of knee-jerk reactions, but we'll probably have some more considered thoughts when that episode shows up, probably this Monday.
So exciting to find out what's happening next, but
Yeah.
it's the same kind
Does
of
it mean
vibe.
This
the
is
po-
my first. This is my first time watching Minecon live. I watched it last year, but it was
Definitely. I mean,
much
it was already
much
one of my
later.
favorite games before I worked here, and there's so
You're
much.
living your
to
best
Yeah, this time for Minecon last year, I was sat in an arena in London watching
Oh,
this
right.
with a bunch of other Minecraft YouTubers. Actually, I met Simply Sark at that event, and we ended up sat next to each other in the bleachers, looking at the big screen.
They're almost ready to go on the stage, I think, but not quite yet.
The Spawn Chunks is not on Spotify. Spotify is a service where you have to pay to host stuff, and it's like a whole separate hosting thing. Whereas if we host it through our website, we can get it on iTunes, Stitcher, and other services just through hosting new episodes on that website. So it's a little bit more complicated to host it on Spotify or on SoundCloud, but it's available on a lot of other podcasting services. So if you have a mobile phone app or anything, chances are you'll be able to get it.
Who would you most like to see tap dance?
Yeah, there's a separate RSS feed on the Patreon page as well. And what's nice about that is that the patrons eventually, when we get to the proper goal, will get a separate feed with maybe a little bit of extra content in it. So, but it's the website feed and the Patreon feed, which is one of the things that I manage for the show. It's one part a financial thing because of how much Spotify and SoundCloud cost, but it's also just the time-intensive thing of maintaining several feeds. And at a certain point, you just have to say, okay, I only have so much time after the show to maintain it.
It's a lot of faffing around to do, whereas with the website we can just post it straight on there, post it to Patreon, and then it's out into the world for everybody to listen to.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people with different mobile devices and different, access points, but like everybody on their mobile device has a web browser, so there's always a way to be able to listen to the Spawn Chunks.
It might sound weird. I try and stay
And
away
even if
from
you
it,
prefer something like
because
the
then when
Patreon
I consider
interface,
for
the
this,
Spawn
or like
Chunks
big
main
updates,
show,
I
like
find
the
out all about
proper
once I'm
episode
genuinely,
feed
like,
is always
amazed by
listenable
everything.
and free
So,
on
like, that's
and
how I
posted
always
on
tend to do it, like,
Patreon as well.
2013, we joined this server that had it all in.
We have 8 episodes so far. This will be episode 9, and then we're into the double digits after that.
There was about 10 episodes of the series where I was still finding stuff, and I was like, "That's so cool! That's so cool!" And people were like, "How do you not know this?
Goes fast.
It's your job." I'm like, "Because
I think I was thinking about my other podcast,
really cool way to do
and
it.
Yeah,
I'm coming up on 300 episodes of the Citadel Cafe.
Like, I don't read anything because
That's
then you can sort of
happening,
be
I
really
think, before
surprised
this
as much
year
as
is
I'm
out.
really pushing to find
Before
out
Christmas
answers
time, I
about
think
it.
we'll hit
Yeah,
300.
moderately
It's very cool, man.
contradictory.
That's
But,
a
Yeah.
I
a
don't
long
know, I
time to
feel
be doing like
this
a
is big
weekly
year. This
show.
one seems to be, like, quite
Well,
big.
once you kind of fit it into a schedule and you just
Look,
realize
I
that you
know,
do it
I was
every,
like, don't look at my face.
like every Monday or every Wednesday or
No,
whatever it
because I
is,
feel
it
like a
just
really
if you just
big
keep on
thing.
trucking, they add up
Mine
pretty
involves
fast.
Bats? I don't know. Like,
I have to say that it's refreshing
random words.
to have another show like with the Swan Chunks with you, where it's a team effort. Because with the Citadel Cafe, I have co-hosts, but it's really me doing all the producing. And it makes life a lot easier to add another show to your schedule when you've got friends that are helping.
Yeah, for sure. You're not doing everything yourself.
Yeah.
Just like flinging everything frantically over your shoulders.
Well, plus it's also nice to talk about Minecraft because it's an easy conversation. You know, like we're both really into it, and it becomes
I mean, I think
it becomes
they're
something that
almost
just
ready
you end
on
up
the main stage.
just
I just want to say
chatting
thank
about
you so
anyway.
much to
You know,
all the
regardless of
guys
whether you're
for
recording or
coming
not.
and joining me, and well, I mean, not really giving
Looks like the
anything
main
away,
stream is
but
about to start here,
I really
folks,
appreciate
so
that's
we
what's
may get a
gonna,
little quiet now. We're going to roll up the
what's
volume a
gonna
little bit.
happen. But I feel like
42,000
maybe
people
we're a
watching the
team
YouTube
here.
stream right now. I
feel
imagine there's
like
many
I also
more
need
on
to, like, up my
Minecraft.net or
Minecraft
on the
Always
Twitch
watching
stream or
those,
Mixer.
Those videos, it always makes me feel really terrible about. Like, you feel bad about building. I feel bad about all of my Minecrafting. How am I this terrible? So, you know, this is good. I feel it's a learning experience. And I really need to, I say this every year.
Up your
Up
Minecraft
my
game.
Minecraft game. Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
Anyway,
That's
all
New
that
Year's
remains to say
resolution
is a
for us
really,
all.
really big
Up our
thank you
Minecraft
to
game.
All of my guests. And, yeah, we're going to be coming
Yeah.
back here for the post-show.
For me, it's
after
more
the main
about
show,
finding
which
the
I believe
time,
they are
right?
ready
Like
to
that's
begin
usually
now.
where I
So let's throw
struggle.
it over to the main stage and let's start Minecon Earth 2018.
Let's start. Cristiano? Where does that come from? There's some strange subtitling going on. Cristiano Minch 2018.
Weird.
All right, folks, here we go. This is going to be the main show. Enjoy. This is official Minecraft animation happening. This bit is reminding me of a really creepy manga book, which I will tell you about later, because it's probably not super family-friendly to talk about right now.
They're not using Elytron as server. They took off way too easy.
That pig is going on a freaking adventure. Look at that. Llamas. I love the llama sound. The llama sound is so good.
Oh, good. They showed him landing safely. I was like, what's going to happen to the pig?
Yeah, totally. Oh, man. So many flashbacks to the RIP Minecraft Telltale adventures with the pig in that. Oh, there's some heartbreak in that.
Cool.
Mythical Sausage says RIP pig. RIP Telltale as well. I really want a Minecraft Rubik's Cube now. Just that animation just sets off the Rubik's Cube vibe for me. Oh. It's a skit, folks.
Hey, Lydia. Hi, Aurelian. I'm backstage getting my makeup done. Are you on the way? I'm almost ready. Could you check on the other co-hosts? Sure.
Represent. Co-host represent.
Hello?
Oh, there he is.
Hey, Bigby. It's Aurelian. Are you almost ready
Man's
to
got
go?
to eat his cookies.
Pretty much. Just having a little breakfast.
Awesome. Hey, have you heard from Yemi at all?
I'll call her.
Okay, thanks.
This is where we get to find out all of the personalities who are our hosts. Oh, and of course Yami's asleep. Oh, there's Chad.
Yellow.
Chad, how's it going? Ready for the show?
Absolutely. Just gotta change out of my pajamas.
Oh, okay. Can you check with Yami? I can't get a hold of her.
Yeah, see you soon.
OMG Chad setting his spawn. There he is. Of course. The color coordinated waistcoat and bow tie. Classy man. He was the second person to give my YouTube channel a shout out after log.zip.
Hello.
Good morning, Yami. You ready to go?
Go where?
Minecon Earth!
Oh, yeah, just gotta brush my teeth or something.
Okay, cool.
The stream is full of class already.
Sure.
This is Martin.
Oh no.
Hey, are you
It's
ready?
Littlewood.
I'm just about centered.
Okay, will you let Lydia know?
Will do.
That is 100% Martin Littlewood. 100%.
Hi, Martin.
I don't know who
Hey,
any of these
Lydia.
people are.
Just calling to let you know that.
Well, except for
we're
OMG
all
Chat.
good
I
to
know who
go.
OMG Chat is.
Great, and by
Martin
good to go,
Littlewood was
you
the
mean
person
on
I
the
started
way,
watching when I was getting into Minecraft.
See you
Oh,
soon.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in the Yogscast.
Okay.
They misspelled Martin's
Well,
name? Oh, tragic.
In the closed captioning?
Yeah, I guess so. Zloy believes this is what OMG Chad sleeps in. I am 100% in agreement.
Please welcome your Minecon Earth 2018 host, Lydia Winters.
Winters with an S. Or possibly even with a Z. Good hat.
And welcome to Minecon Earth
Nice jacket, too.
2018. I'm Lydia Winters, Chief Brand Officer of Mojang, and today we have an exciting show in store for you.
Oh.
Okay, you're all here.
Hi.
Right on time.
There they are.
Please welcome our 5
Chad's looking a bit more casual now, though.
OMG Chad.
They've changed more
He's
than one.
ditched the waistcoat and bow tie. That was his pajamas,
Yeah, yeah.
apparently.
That would have been
Hey.
like 8,000 degrees on the stage, too.
Big B.
Yami and Chad bringing up the colourful
We
hair
worked with our
department.
co-hosts to create a special segment for each of them. We have live games with Chad. Chad, can you tell us about it?
Yeah, last year I did a little bit of a building-themed game, so we've just taken that to the next level.
Okay, and Martin?
I've got a really fun mini game that we're going to throw some real-life elements into.
And Aurelian, you have a game too.
I do. We brought some best friends here to Minecon, and we're going to put their friendship to the test.
Very
Uh-oh.
intriguing.
Good thing we're not
we
there,
also
Joel.
have a talk show with
Yeah.
Yami.
Yes, and I
Like those
brought a
games where they
special
ask
guest
about
along
like
with
quiz
me
questions
today.
about your
Ooh,
co-host.
and you're
It's
keeping
going to
it
be the
secret. And
newlywed
Mickey,
game,
what do you
but
have
Minecon
planned?
I'll
style.
be doing a few tips and tricks on creating a channel.
Awesome. It is
Sammy
going
in
to
chat
be
is like, this
lots
is
of
infinitely
fun.
less awkward
We'll
than the
be
Will
sort of your
Arnett bit last
spirit
year.
Guides as we go through a show
yeah.
full of all things Minecraft.
Because these people
And,
actually play
speaking
Minecraft,
of
whereas Will Arnett's
guides,
like, I don't know, it's a thing my kids
Which one
play.
of us here is the oldest Minecrafter?
Uh-oh.
Okay. Well, I actually
Awkward
meant
question.
not by age.
I mean, my bad.
I meant by start date. I'm November 2010. Chad?
I am October 2010. One month ahead.
That's
Joel?
suspicious. Okay, we'll check on that later.
March
I'm around
of
about March
20
2011.
Okay.
17.
We started about the same
April
time.
2014.
Big B?
2012.
Folks in the chat, let me know when you
Sometime
started
in
playing Minecraft. It's
2009.
probably before
Okay.
any of us.
I have a winner. So in Minecraft years, we're senior citizens.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
like 55
We're
years
retired by now.
1.4, yeah.
But we're here.
Zloy is like, I just started playing now.
Announcements, including one
Was
top
born yesterday.
secret, super huge. We haven't told anyone, and I'm exploding with excitement. Kind of announcement.
Haven't even
Will
told
Arnett's
us.
back.
Lydia's been walking around with this really creepy briefcase. She's like, do not open this, do not touch it, or you'll be in trouble.
Anytime in rehearsals, they're like, turn off all the monitors everywhere. You can't hear it. We don't know what it
We
is.
had our ears to doors. It was just the bathroom. We were trying to find everything.
Trust me, it's for your own protection. You'll learn about future
Okay, we've got
updates
some
to the
people in the
game,
chat who've been
and you can
playing,
vote throughout the show to pick the
since
next
I started.
biome. Any favorites?
Taiga.
Taiga.
Yeah.
The desert, meerkats.
I'm just, the meerkats, that's what I'm
Yeah.
going for. I don't
Of
want
course,
just to huddle
Littlewood
up
wants
and chasing
meerkats.
Savannah?
Of course.
No one?
Chad!
You, Chad.
Team
Yes.
Savannah!
Team
Hashtag
Savannah.
Team Savannah!
Soon we'll see who everyone votes for.
Oh, Chad, I feel
And we also
as
have to
betrayed
say
as you
hi
are.
to everyone watching.
Hi!
We have people all around the world tuning in at Minecon Earth parties in Microsoft stores, through NetEase in China, on Cartoon Network, as
Represent.
well as all of you at home with
Sound
your
off in the
family
chat.
and
Let me see those
friends.
hype hands.
Hi, Grandma.
Hi, Mum, Dad.
Okay then.
Mum, Dad.
We also have Minecrafters across the globe who are hosting Minecon Earth live streams in their native languages.
Yay, English. That's where we're hosting. This is really awesome, though. These are actually official restreams that are being
Yeah.
done by Minecrafters around the world.
Yeah, there was like 7 or 8 different languages.
I think something like that.
Tutti quelli che stanno guardando Minecon Earth e quelli che stanno guardando la mia live stream in Italia.
Hola Minecon Earth, soy el
Hola.
97 y estoy retransmitiendo el evento en mi canal de
Very
YouTube
cool.
para todos los espectadores de México.
Ah, Mexico, very cool. Oh, he's clearly in Paris. That's not a green screen at all. That is actually what the light in Paris is like.
Ich möchte einfach noch Hallo an alle Leute sagen, die Minecon Earth gucken und Hallo an alle, die meinen Live-Podcast in Deutschland gucken.
Hello, auf Wiedersehen.
It looks like a
All of
German
the German I
greeting.
remember. Awesome stuff.
How awesome is that?
I agree.
As I mentioned before, we have 5 incredible co-hosts with us tonight. Each of them designed a special segment that plays to their strengths. And first up, we have Chad.
Chad's strengths are that he's a snappy dresser. And he's good at
OMG, Chad,
presenting
you look
OMG crafts.
amazing.
How you doing,
Oh dear,
Lydia?
the
Thank
puns have
you.
started
Good,
already.
So I was going to ask you if you're ready for your segment, but I feel like you
Is he going to
are.
fight a bull?
I'm a little bit of a ringleader in the
Tame a
next
lion.
segment.
Exactly,
I
yeah.
thought I'd go full out.
Good thing there's
I
no lions
really
in
like
savannas
it.
yet.
Before we get to that,
Yeah.
though, I want everyone to know a little more about you. So how did you get started playing Minecraft?
I actually got
I
started
can feel
on
people
a live
unsubbing
stream,
from Chad
so
as this
I
is
was
happening.
really- it's really cool that through all this history that I have with
I
Minecraft,
think this is the part where it's
that I
aimed at a
actually
lot of the
started
younger viewers.
on a live stream, so it's recorded. I have the footage. We were watching YouTube videos
He has
about
the foot.
Minecraft, and then we just started
The subtitle
playing.
said he has
My
the
biggest
foot.
fear was, wait, you have to.
That sounds serious. You should have that looked at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nah, I need a big editor.
He's got
no
the foot
way.
and the mouth.
Anyway, fell in love.
I mean,
Been
it's
playing
that
Minecraft.
either sounds like a
Good,
terrible,
then it's-
debilitating
so it's
disease,
online,
or he's
so I
got
can
an
check
army
that
of
October
ninja
2010
clansmen
date.
hidden behind the curtain.
Yeah,
I would
you
not
can
be
look
surprised if
really
Chad's real
hard
name
to
is
that,
Oroku
yeah.
Saki.
So in your
Yeah.
segment, what are we going to
Yeah.
see today?
Well, last
Shout out
year,
to
I was
Ninja Turtles
part
fans
of,
in the chat.
Blitz Build, which is a total virtual building game. So we decided to take that
Or
one
Hero
step
Turtles for you Brits.
further, put it
Don't
in
talk about
real
Hero Turtles.
reality, and see how our contestants do.
That sounds amazing. So the stage is yours, good sir.
Awesome! Welcome to my building game.
I feel like this is a total power fantasy for OMG Chad right now.
Yeah.
Welcome to my building game.
World of building.
The game of building. We don't really have an official name for it. We have 2 teams here. We have Martin and Aurelian.
Hi.
You guys are
Hi.
Team Lapis.
Yep, yep.
Yes.
Team Lapis Block. And then we have
Nope.
Bigby and Yammy, and you guys are Team Purpur. Purpur Blocks. Fantastic. How are you guys feeling?
The
You guys
least
actually
used
don't know what
blocks
you're
in the
doing
game.
Yet, so if you're feeling kind of nervous,
Quick,
would be my guess.
Pixlriffs, what's
Let
our
me
team?
explain
What
the
block would our
rules.
team
We
be?
have down here
Personally, I'm
a
Team Emerald
huge
Ore. What about
building
you?
Surface for you to build
that doesn't
on,
really roll off
and
the tongue.
also a
Team
few
Dark Prismarine?
themes for you
Dirt.
to build.
Let's go
There
Team
is a
Dirt.
specific
Team
word
Dirt?
written
That sounds
on
like
each
Team
of
Derp.
these cards
I know.
That's already taken.
I like-
one of you will have to build,
I like something strong
and
like
one of
Team
you
Oak.
will have to guess the word
works.
based off of the build.
Or Dark Oak. We
In
could be
order
like
to
the
make your
evil
build
team.
happen, we have blocks. Release the blocks!
Uh-oh.
There we go!
It's Minecraft Jenga.
150 blocks for you to build with. You could think of these as like wool blocks. We also have a few clear blocks over here on the side.
I was going to say,
Those
how are
could
they
be
going to
used
mimic
as
like there being no
glass or
gravity in
as
Minecraft?
air, as just air
That's
as
smart.
Okay, we are
And
going to
they just
start
answered
off
that, I
with
think.
Team Purpur.
Okay.
So Team Lapis, you guys can take a
Okay.
step back.
Glenn is
Who's gonna
Team
be
Air Block.
building? Who's going to be guessing?
So I will be building.
Yeah, and I'll be guessing.
Guessing, okay, Yami, I'll have you stand over here. Big B next to the big pile of blocks. You guys have 3 minutes, only 3 minutes to do your building. And
To
there's
do
a
your
possible
worst.
of 6 correct answers. If you get to 6, you've maxed it out.
There are correct
Congratulations.
answers to this? I don't-
Hopefully the other team will tie you.
I'm very
I'm
confused by the
confused.
format
Not
of this
that I'm a
game.
favorite or anything. But
Hey now.
they could
Alright.
only
Hey
tie
now.
you if you get to 6. You ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
Okay,
ready.
we got 3 minutes on the clock. You can
Groovy Loopy Loo
start
says Team
building
Bedrock.
Your
There you go.
first word. There we go.
Apple.
Oh,
House.
okay. I,
Cat.
I see
Bed.
what's happening.
Well, a bed? Well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
Red, yeah.
bed.
Beds can be any color now, Chad. It doesn't count.
Looks a little funky for a strawberry.
Yeah.
I don't think
The man
I
does not know. Is he going for an anatomical heart or a?
Snake.
Yeah.
Oh, snake.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I think you can really only grab 2 at a time. That's the issue.
There's some pretty specific blocks here.
Felt block charades. That's basically what this is.
I am Golem.
He's not building it like facing
this
her.
would be
I think that's the problem.
heart. There
Sloy,
they go. Okay.
behave.
1 point down. Your next build is. There you go.
Sun. A house.
house, a car,
Who would want
a
to live in that?
sofa, a pig,
It's not a house.
an
It's
ice
real
cream, a
close.
hot dog.
That's clearly a pencil.
Yeah.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Wonderful. You got pencil. That's 2
That's
points.
actually pretty
Your
good.
next build is. Here you go.
A wolf, obsidian, end portal, never
She's
fall.
guessing
I like how
before
you're
he even
guessing
puts
before
blocks
he even
down.
has a
Cool.
down. This is great.
Boots.
Yeah, me and Chad are on the same wavelength here.
A sword, legs.
Legs. That does look like legs. It's the beginning of legs. This build has
I didn't see
legs.
the word. What was he
A
building?
tower.
You might
Minecart.
have to really get in those
Oh, Minecart.
blocks to get the colors you need.
Okay.
Now, this is something that is implemented into the game. It's been implemented
furnace.
for a very, very long time. This is something that you might even say has...
A minecart.
Yeah, there you go, a minecart. Wonderful. I would not
They've got
wanna
like 3
ride in
minutes to
that.
do this.
Minecart, that is 3
Yeah.
points. Here is your
If this was like
next
build battle
build.
on the Hypixel server,
There you
people
go,
would
you
be
have
voting
a
these
minute and
legendary or
15
super poop.
remaining. A minute and 15 seconds.
A bed, a
Oh
cloud.
my gosh.
A unicorn, a pegasus.
They do get more difficult as the builds
Pegasus.
A
commence.
tooth, a skull.
I don't think I could do a
tooth, that's
Pegasus in
pretty
3
good. No,
minutes.
No, not quite.
Part of the
Cotton
issue
candy.
is that the
Cotton
blocks have
candy.
been dumped
Yeah.
so far from the
I've never had white
Yes.
cotton
stage. Like he
candy.
spends
I don't
so
think
much
I'd
time
want
going
that.
back and forth.
Okay, looks
hard.
like he's really trying hard here. You know what, Big
Depends
B,
what
you got
game
45
controller he's going
seconds
for as well. Is he going
remaining.
Switch
Hold
controller? Is he
Oh,
going
need some
Xbox controller?
charades. Try to use this thing. You're gonna
Controller.
a game controller.
That was such a cheat.
Correct.
Like you
10
literally just have to
seconds,
do
yeah.
this in front of your face, and they're like, "Oh,
35 seconds
controller."
remain. Here is your next
Yeah.
build. There you go.
Yes, mad
Okay,
hacks.
I think that you're at 4
Real
points.
question is, what does this have to do with Minecraft
This is be your fifth.
at all?
It's a block building game. They've
No,
got-
no, but I mean, like, as far as Minecraft news and announcements.
Oh, they're not going to get to the announcements
This is
until
a
like the
sad
last half
banana,
hour,
is really
probably.
what that is.
Oh, good.
I thought it was a
We're at
banana.
8 seconds. Here we go. 5,
A
4,
house.
3. House. You got a house.
She done did it, folks.
That is time. That is time. You guys did fantastically. You guys got 5 points. 5 points. You got house at the very
I like
last
that little
second.
feather that's coming out
Okay,
the side
Team
of Chad's
Purple,
hat is just like
stand
making
where
me think
Team
there's a
Red
rip
is
in the
now.
side and his hair is
Who's
just
gonna be
poking
building?
through.
It looks like you
Yeah,
volunteered
I'm coming in
yourself
to build.
tribute. Okay, you're building and you're guessing.
Yes.
Okay. They got 5 points.
You came for the
guys think
announcements.
you
We
can do
came
it
for the
better?
announcements
really
too,
confident
but
in this. I thought they'd get, like,
we're gonna have to riff our way
I
through the
love
first
it,
hour of this
too.
stream. I think
I'm pretty surprised.
I'm gonna save my guesses.
they'll probably pepper in the announcements and stuff. The stuff about the
It's- you're
biome vote
safe.
as
It's
well
like
will
safe.
probably come in and
You gotta
peppered throughout
hit
the
or
stream.
beat
So
5.
you are gonna have to
Only
stick
the
around if you want to
option
know
for
when to
6,
vote.
So good luck.
Wow. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
3 minutes is on the clock.
BJ,
You
I had to
can
flip my
start
camera. Shut up.
building Now.
Okay.
Wool.
The stream is more than an hour, Rain. This is like 2 hours.
Bowl.
Yeah, the schedule was an hour and 50.
Yes.
And this is why.
Yeah.
A
That's actually
They had to fill the time somehow.
nether star.
pretty good.
Well, I mean, it's the same with every large company. Like
This is
in any large
Candy?
tech announcement, there's an hour and a
you get a
half
version
of
of this
pomp
in the
and
game.
circumstance.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You can boil it down to 20 minutes of information, right?
But it's not
Remember in
something that you would
E3's
want to-
the Sony press conference where they had them come on stage and build the game out of wool blocks?
Grab some more blocks.
No,
Oh, wow.
no, I don't remember that at all.
A flower.
Yeah.
This is probably so obvious.
No, he really used the colors from himself, really.
Yeah,
You're
just
like-
Lapis.
No, not lapis.
Air. Water.
There we go. There we go. First.
That's
point.
nothing like
The next
spider eye,
build.
by the
The
way.
next build is.
Thought it was 90 minutes.
There you
It's a
go.
little bit longer
That
than
looks
that.
nothing like a spider eye, by the way.
They've got a lot of mini games to play first.
Cactus.
The cactus, correct.
Cactus is easy. It's 3 blocks of green.
Points.
That's all you need.
Your next build is. Wow.
Kind of like the goofy stuff. Yeah, the goofy stuff is fun. I imagine this stuff is going to be great for kids watching. They're going to be like, it's like anybody at home watching like Family Feud or.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to think of game shows now because I don't watch them at all. But like Price is Right or
No, me
whatever.
either.
It's like this is that kind of content.
There you go. He's trying hard.
Oh, when I was really young,
Difficult
like,
and
9
difficult.
or 10, there was
1
a
minute
game
and
called
27
Funhouse, I
seconds.
think.
1 minute.
Flower.
I remember watching
And that-
Funhouse. I don't know if it was the same Funhouse that you would have watched.
It was yellow. I don't
Same
know.
idea. It's a bunch of kids running through obstacle courses
Same
and
thing.
doing basically carnival games on
Stare.
camera. Like it's,
Sounds like the Funhouse I remember.
It's not a sunflower. A person.
Oh my gosh.
A
This is a very
neck pillow.
minimalistic version of this build.
A
Well, it has to be. He's making it out of blocks.
Oh, I know.
A sandcastle.
So this is not implemented into the game as of yet. You can make something that looks.
Do we want to have
fairly
mugs in
similar to
Minecraft, folks? Let us know in the chat.
He is a big
If they
fan
added tea into the
of
game,
tea
to be
time.
honest, I would.
Teacups. Kettle.
Nope.
Tea kettle. Teapot.
Nope.
I would 100% be on board with tea.
A coffee cup. Hot
It looks like he's
chocolate.
making a mug of
It's
beer.
a mug. A mug.
Yeah.
Okay.
A mug. There you go. You got mug. Yeah, you help him out there. Your next build is.
Okay. You know what?
You must build a boat.
Wool. Chocolate. Dirt.
If you get this, you only have 24 seconds
Chocolate,
remaining.
dirt.
You will tie it up.
A teddy bear.
You want coffee in Minecraft? Coffee in Minecraft would be great. Give you like a 5-second
Candy.
speed
You
boost.
can use charades.
Yeah.
10 seconds left.
Or a
Charades.
haste
Swimming.
boost.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing in the game that you can
Fish.
drink that gives you haste.
Yeah, there's, haste is exclusively a beacon effect.
That is time. That is time.
No.
Not Cole. Sorry, the last build was Castle. There you had.
Oh no.
I don't believe. That means that you guys tied. Go ahead and join Ari over there. Come on down here.
Good job, dude.
Oh, he's out of breath now.
There you go. Join us. I'm sorry, you guys tied. That means that there is no real winner.
Chad can't stop playing
We
with the
only
hat.
just
He's such
tied
a
the game.
props guy.
Yeah.
So I guess neither of you have bragging rights. That means only I can brag. Woo! Nice. Awesome. You guys did fantastically. You should be really, really proud of yourselves.
Thank
5
you.
points each. Now we're going to toss it over to Vu.
Oh, here we go. This is exactly the same set of graphics they had last year for the mob vote.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Minecon
Another
Earth
good hat.
viewers. I'm Vu Bui, and once again, I will be your vote correspondent. We are bringing
He's gonna do his
you,
Pharrell
the
impersonation
Minecraft
later.
community directly into the decision making about what goes into the game you love. This year, you'll be voting on what Minecraft biome will be updated next. We'll eventually be updating all of them, but as you know, game development takes skill, knowledge, and most importantly, time. So with this vote, your favorite biome gets to cut in line.
Can think of so many snarky comments to make about that. But
Minecon Earth, you voted for the Phantom. Months later, and
I
the
hope they're able to
monster of
update the
night
biomes like one
skies
at a
was
time and just
swooping
implement them
down
without
and wreaking
having to
havoc
wait for
on
like a
previously
huge
fearless but
update.
ever
yeah, sure. You'd want to have it like as a 0.3
The same
update to
players who for
1.13
some
Yeah.
rather than like 1.14.
Yeah.
Zombies,
Yeah,
spiders,
exactly. Just for every new point, add a new
Endermen, and
add a
creepers
refresh to the biomes.
didn't pose enough of a threat to end their
Thank you, Senpai.
midnight
Enjoy the stream.
wanderings. I was recently enjoying a nocturnal swim myself and thought it was hilarious that phantoms couldn't bite me from my aquatic position.
Nope.
They may like to fly,
Nope, they do,
but they do not like to swim.
No, they do.
Unfortunately, as I swam further and further, I
They
found
maybe
myself
the behavior is
swarmed
different
as
on
new
Bedrock, but they
phantoms
definitely
joined
come and
their
attack you in the
friends
water.
and took turns swooping
Yeah.
down over my head. Let's just say it didn't end well for me that night. But on to today's vote. To explain what you'll be voting on exactly, let's have Tiny Digital Jens and Agnes take it away.
Oh, here we go.
Have always felt a little
We've seen this already, but it's nice to get a refresher.
no, in need of
Yeah.
poetries. And some
Plus, these
friendly
are super
guides to
cute.
keep things interesting.
They are, yeah. Loads of people saying this looks so
You know
much like
that meerkats
Terraria.
aren't actually cats, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
The kind of 2D tile-based
And
style thing.
Everyone knows that meerkats are part of the mongoose family.
To the tiger. To the tiger.
I like that they've done the characters in perspective though. Like they'll turn at 3/4 or profiles and stuff. They're animated quite well.
The subtitles misspelled tiger there as well. Who's like tiger the animal rather than tiger the biome.
1 or 2 or 5 foxes.
It's like my backyard,
The
except
foxes
without the
are planned
campfire.
to be a hostile mob, right?
And the berries, actually. I don't grow berries. Yet.
We haven't decided yet.
Onwards.
Her
So
little
there's
panic
spooky,
face is
there's
so cute.
spooky music that you hear at the end of this, which I think
Yay,
is really interesting.
baobabs. They are the best trees.
You and your baobabs. Crazy trees with
Your
a silly
bayou
name.
babs.
Still cooler than termites.
Ah, termites. The way they snack on decomposing plants. Just adorable.
Neither
Jens comes across as a weird dude in these. I think he got an interesting angle on the script.
So it's up to you
I'm all
to
about
decide
ostriches,
which
though.
biome we
I
update
love
first.
ostriches.
Whenever I think about ostriches, I think about the is it the Gallimimus dinosaur chase in Jurassic Park?
Okay, so how you
Yeah.
Make sure you have a Twitter account and go to the official Minecraft Twitter @Minecraft. There will be 2 separate votes, so make sure you
loading up
vote
Twitter.
in both. Don't worry, I'll let you know when they go live. We aren't getting started just yet.
Okay, cool.
Just be sure you're
So
ready
hold off
to
on your
vote when
voting
the
fingers,
time
folks.
comes, and make your amazing choice.
Yeah, ostriches actually shoving their heads in sand would be cool. It would be cool if they came back up and they had like items. Like they just kind of dig up random items for you. Be super fun.
Hey everyone, my name is Yami, and I started making videos back in 2011.
Representing
I love
the
what
Brits.
I do, I love being creative, and I love having fun. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about myself, and then I'm going to introduce you to a very special guest. So I went out into the Minecraft community and asked them what they wanted to know about me, and here's what they had to say.
Hi,
I'm with you,
Yami,
Leopard.
I'm
I like your
Georgia,
trees
and I
as
have
well.
a question for you. When did you first start playing Minecraft, and what was it like?
So I started playing Minecraft back in 2009, and the game was on browser.
Joel, when did you start playing Minecraft and what was it like?
We could only build
It was myself and Steven, who I mentioned earlier. We had like a sick day. I was home with the flu, he was home with a migraine, and we were feeling well enough to be up and about, but just kind of winter misery in Canada. So he introduced me to the game and was able to spend like the afternoon playing on like his realm, his free realm trial. And so we just kind of messed around. I fell in a ravine like 4 times. I kept on forgetting to look
Ravines will
down
get
before I
you.
was.
Ravines will
Oh
definitely
my
get
gosh.
you.
What's the next question?
Yeah, well, it was a plains biome. I didn't expect there to be a giant hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? What was your first world like?
I started playing on Xbox, and my first world was about 60% water. There was like a tiny island in the bottom left where I spawned, and then there was a kind of northern continent, but then the rest of it was all water. And I had like 3 biomes in the whole map. So a couple of resets later, I was able to get the experience I expected out of the game. But I still managed to build a house underwater. That was a really fun experience.
And they talked to me about theirs in the
Probably
comment
even
section. We made a
better
little
to revisit that
community,
now.
we all feel like friends.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, especially with like sponges weren't even a thing when I was building underwater, like, and I wouldn't have been able to get them either because I wouldn't have had an ocean monument in that world. It was an Xbox 360 world as well. It was like maybe 800 blocks wide, so there wasn't really much scope for other stuff. But I don't know, if there was a chance for having an ocean monument, a world that's 60% ocean might have had a chance of getting one.
Yeah. You can't build trees underwater now though, because the leaf blocks still have that funny texture effect.
Yeah, I know. I do wish they'd allow you to waterlog them. But leaves are kind of special.
Leaves and doors, I think, are the only 2 things that you can't waterlog currently.
Yeah, doors, fence gates, I think, are the other thing.
Oh, fence gates, really?
Yeah.
She was super feral and afraid of people.
And
I wonder why that is. Well, maybe because they both have that. They both function in that they open and shut. Like maybe that's the problem.
And finally,
Adogello, sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right. The Hermitcraft panel is not going to be aired in full during this broadcast. It's going to be available as a separate thing. There's going to be clips of it later on, apparently, in the post-show. But you'll probably have to check the Minecraft YouTube channel after the stream has happened for the full Hermitcraft panel.
Talismancer, yes, you can waterlog trapdoors.
running my channel, I love when I get messages.
Pressure plates are the other thing that I always find are weirdly resistant to water. Like as redstone components, you expect them to be kind of swept up as the rest of them are, like levers and everything. But but yeah, pressure plates. I've seen a lot of people making entrances to bubble elevators using a pressure plate in the fence gate.
Yep, I use a pressure plate and a trapdoor because trapdoors will hold back water. You can waterlog them if you want, but you can use them to hold back water. So I put a trapdoor above the pressure plate, like a ceiling tile. So it's this really clean looking way to hold back the water in an elevator. You just have to have the pressure plate open sideways as opposed to forward, otherwise it blocks you when you try to go through.
Simply Sark in chat says they can handle the pressure, being pressure plates. I like it.
Well played.
Drum stab
well
for you.
Played.
Welcome to the stream, by the way, Sark. Good to see you.
I'm actually
Dad
terrible
joke
at singing,
point.
so that I couldn't do that. Then I wanted to be a vet, but
Waterlogging is tricky, Groovy. I agree. It's not the easiest thing to wrap your head around.
a jockey because I really like the idea of
Because sometimes the blocks will, the waterlogging block will spill the water out in blocks next to it, and sometimes it won't. It's odd that way.
Yeah, it gets a little tricky.
I don't understand the rules yet.
There are no rules.
Do the waterlogging before you put anything down you don't want washed away, like flowers or redstone or whatever.
There was a terrible moment in a Mumbo Jumbo video where he was making a water elevator and he was placing water sources manually on slabs, and then he was like, oh wait, my entire redstone contraption is underneath these, and I think somehow it worked out that nothing got damaged, but he was really lucky. So he just places it on a slab, the water just flows straight through the bottom and down into whatever he's got down there.
Yeah. Because is it the difference between like shift clicking and just placing the bucket of water, or I don't really remember. It's one of those things where I never remember until I try it in game, and it either works or doesn't, and then if it doesn't work, I just do the opposite of what I just did.
I'm inclined to say shift clicking, but yeah, I can't think about it theoretically without actually doing it in front of me.
Instinctively, you kind of have to just try it and see what happens.
Oh, now they're going to do some science.
Okay.
Let's turn this up for a second and see what's going on.
Absolutely. My name is Dr. Kate Bieberdorf, and I'm a chemistry professor at the University of Texas at Austin. Hook 'em horns! And what I do is I go around all across the country,
Shout out to Longhorns.
and I try to do some science experiments to get kids excited about science. I really am on this.
Is she going to make a potion of fire resistance? Because if so, I am totally down for that.
You can just be a normal girl who likes fire and this thing.
Wow. So what are we doing today? This looks amazing.
Oh, it is amazing.
Science, just like fire in big glass jars.
So this is called Elephant's Toothpaste, and so I want you to help me with it. So can you please suit up for me?
Elephants confirmed.
Elephant's Toothpaste. This is what it's called. And so as you can see, we have to put on our goggles on, our gloves, our lab coat, because we want to be completely safe.
I was sort of watching, but like, how does this tie into Minecraft?
But this is called Elephant's Toothpaste, and what we're going to do is take hydrogen peroxide.
It doesn't, Joel. The sad truth is it doesn't.
See if something happens.
So can I brush an elephant's teeth with this?
You shouldn't. It's probably not good for him, but we are going to produce enough toothpaste that we could, in theory, brush an elephant's teeth. But don't do it because it's peroxide, and that wouldn't be good. And then the elephant would be sad.
Yeah, we don't want that, do we?
Yeah, we don't want sad elephants on the stream.
I'm putting on these gloves to protect myself. I
Yes.
assume.
Hashtag fire elephants. Bring the fire elephants.
Fire elephants,
But
yeah.
as long as we keep a little
Leopard,
distance,
it could be tied into Minecraft Education Edition.
Ready. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is start with
Someone in chat just pointed out they're talking about safety, but they both have their hair down.
to protect us.
You can hear all the scientists in the comments shaking their heads.
35% hydrogen peroxide. So at home, you probably use anywhere between 3 to 5, maybe even 6% hydrogen peroxide. I like big stuff.
They do sort of look like potion bottles from Minecraft.
I think that's the loose connection they're trying to make, is that
okay, so that's step one.
this is a
the next thing we're going to do is add our
real live brewing.
They couldn't make a prop brewing stand for this, but that's kind of the idea.
Penguins are my favorite animal, so I try to support
Oh, penguins confirmed as well. She's dropping all the secrets this early in the stream. Elephants and penguins confirmed.
Use it to wash the penguins that have been through oil spills, and so it gets all the oil off of their body, and then they're like happy.
What I really want to see is a penguin.
Sounds like something from the Avatar world. You know how they have all of the combined animals?
What was the big? What was the big one? Was it platypus bear or something?
Yes. I like the badger moles personally. The badger moles are my favorite. The original Earthbenders.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're taking our heterogeneous mixture, making it homogeneous, and now I think it's.
All right, those were long words I did not understand.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is not going to end well.
It's bubbling already. I can only imagine what's happening next.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Oh, they're stepping back quickly.
Foam up and.
3, 2.
This is the baking soda volcano experiment.
Pretty sure.
Oh, there it is. And now they have a lot of mess to clean up. Shout out to all the behind-the-scenes crew who have to handle this.
Yeah, really though. Well, look at the garbage bags on the floor.
Yeah. Oh, we're having a slow-motion replay now.
Now what happens here is we actually have our dish soap that's trapping the oxygen gas.
It was Mentos in Coke, but complicated.
I don't know if you're able to see this at home, hopefully, but you see it's the thermal energy being released because it's an exothermic reaction.
So this is what happens, to bring it back to Minecraft, because I don't think they're doing that. This is like what happens when you put soul sand under the ocean. That is the limit of what I can... Oh, it's super sparkly as well.
Or the glasses, so I feel a little terrified.
My sister is in the chat. Shout out Dr83. Says it's an exothermic reaction. Hurrah.
You have the peroxide, you have the KI, you can break it all apart, and you can do this actually in the game. It is awesome.
Oh, so this is tied into Minecraft Education Edition. This is actually an edition of the game that they use to teach science and chemistry and stuff in schools.
Guessing you don't have to wear the goggles for that in the game.
But yeah, this is not something that I think 80% of the people watching this stream would have interacted with. So great segment.
But I think also like you could have led with that. You know, like,
yeah, I think maybe they did and we were talking over it, but
maybe
crazy experiments.
Yeah, I shouldn't
like
be too
this
critical because I wasn't.
With the Minecraft Hour
I mean, I've got
of
the
Code
subtitles up, but a lot of
tutorial,
the
and
stuff
it's
I've
coming
got muted.
November 1st.
yeah.
We've
No, so the
partnered
hour of
with
code
Pixlriffs
thing is
for the
coming in now. This
fourth
is
year
definitely
to
like the
create what is
educational
quite
segment
possibly
because
the most
yeah, this is about
adventurous
teaching kids how to
1-hour
code
tutorial
and
yet.
Yeah, this I knew about,
Yeah.
and this is really cool. I think it's awesome that
Worlds and uncover
that
hidden treasure, all with the
Minecraft
power of code.
introduces
And
kids to
meet
that
some
kind of
very
logic
awesome
because
video
I mean,
creators
soft
along the
skills
way.
going forward is going to be incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think it's something I kind of want to explore myself at some point just to see what the deal is. So then maybe we can talk about it on an episode of the podcast because I would love to get somebody on the podcast who is a Minecraft and education person. Somebody like Adam Clark or
a teacher, like someone that
Immersive
actually
Mind
has
or
an
someone.
education.
Yeah,
somebody
totally.
that has like a teaching degree and that's using it in their
testing things
the
digitally,
game.
we use this sort of portal to jump into the game and experience things physically.
So this is where the magic happens.
Oh,
I
I've
go
met
in
him.
there when I need to test
Lovely
a
man.
map for realms or for marketplace.
Sorry, this is skipping around a little bit, guys. That's not really something I can control.
Like Philip over
Yeah, that's
here,
the feed.
he's
It's happening for me
experiencing
too.
Some of the new aquatic features to inspire new merchandise.
It took us years to develop this technology, but once we had it in place, we could immediately see the benefits. And what's great too is that a day in Minecraft goes by way quicker than a day in real life. So once you've been in there for an hour, it's been just less than a minute in real life.
So this is a funny gag.
I was going to say, so this is a bit, yeah, like they're doing a bit right now.
Another trip to the Nether?
Yeah, I had a little tangle with a guest. Hi, I'm Alice. I don't do any testing of features in Minecraft. I just really like to go on adventures.
The only reason we've kept this technology
Got the
to
return to
ourselves
sender
is to
achievement
ensure
while
it
she was
doesn't
there.
end up in the wrong hands. Imagine creepers running around.
The light is brilliant.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really
Things
funny.
that could happen. That's why we have some extreme.
Also, they can turn off that nether portal way better than I can in the real game.
Is that a diamond? No. It's.
She's like, I'm off to
we're
make a
working
shovel.
on it.
Matthias? Do you still work here? I haven't seen you in forever.
This is like the Jumanji Minecraft edition.
You guys should talk to him.
I guess I got lost.
Here at Mojang, we use the latest and greatest in innovative technology.
It's interesting to hear them calling it Mojang because the Swedish pronunciation is the one I always use as Mojang.
Me too, and that's what I've heard.
People always
on YouTube.
People call me out on it, but they're like the American pronunciation is Mojang, and I'm like, yeah, I can say it the way they say it. It's not difficult.
Yeah. The problem for me comes when I try to type it because I'll type it with a J by mistake.
We sure do, Lydia. It's kind of nerve-wracking standing here. As you know, we're always striving to build and evolve the
No,
Minecraft
sorry, with a
universe.
Y by mistake.
We've
With a
gone
Y,
into
yeah.
fiction books, starting with a Max Brooks novel. We're working on an upcoming movie, and now we're going to
That's something else I want to do for the podcast. We need to have a book club where we read Minecraft the Island. Because I've heard Max Brooks talk about Minecraft, and he gets it in a way that I feel like a lot of people sort of don't.
So is it a fiction?
It's a fiction, yeah. It's an official Minecraft novel. And,
Okay.
and there are unofficial Minecraft novels kind of published by, again, like YouTubers, content creators. But this is the first one that they actually commissioned, you know, from Max Brooks. He's the author of The Zombie Survival Guide and World War Z, for those of you guys who might be familiar with those
Okay.
books.
Yeah,
And,
I've not read them, but I'm familiar with them.
Yeah, really, really good. And I heard him talking about Minecraft the Island on a podcast, and he plays Minecraft with his kids, and he understands the value of the game on a much deeper level than people who are just like Will Arnett from last year, who just has this kind of superficial understanding of what Minecraft is. He's also, I think, a consultant for the Department of Defense, so he kind of he has this really interesting insight into like what survival is, and the island is like a survival story based in somebody who kind of doesn't remember their past but just wakes up in the game of Minecraft, and there's like existential horror when they realize their hands don't have fingers, and there's some really interesting elements to it. I've read like the first chapter on the Amazon preview. I really want to read more.
Cool. So not a kid's book.
I mean, it is a kid's book, but it's got like more adult elements to it. It doesn't kind of talk down to
game by Mojang.
Minecraft players.
Reimagining of Minecraft as a completely different experience.
Okay, is this another bit, or is this a...
combine mechanics of the core Minecraft game and turn it into an adventure game in which you fight monsters, explore environments, find treasure, and earn even better equipment.
I feel like this isn't a bit because they had like somebody who looked like a fairly official product lead guy on the stage. I feel like I should have been paying more attention.
Player, but also for everyone else, it's going to be an experience that they've not really done before in the universe.
As a player, you can expect to visit brand new locations, set in environments never before seen in the Minecraft universe. There will be a ton of new mobs that are all unique to the game, and of course, brand new boss mobs.
Insert everybody from the regular Minecraft community going, why can't we have these in Java Minecraft?
What you think?
It's the problem whenever they make anything exclusive to a certain version of the game, people are like, why? Okay, so far this looks like the Telltale game. But a little bit more...
Yeah, I've never played it.
It looks a little bit more set in the world of the game in terms of the art style, everything being flat textures and stuff. But this looks like the stuff they had animated at the beginning, so is this going to be part of the game experience? Interesting. I'm going to roll the volume up for you folks at home.
Can you dual wield swords in the game?
You can, but it doesn't do anything. You'll only ever attack with one hand. I'm immediately suspicious of anything that doesn't look like a block that's currently in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Like, what are those crystals in the background? I want those.
The tank's got a big hammer, too.
Oh, okay, so we got a dungeon crawler. Interesting. Coming to PC in 2019.
How cool is that?
So when it says coming to PC, that's not coming to Java or Bedrock Minecraft. That's a completely separate game experience.
This is the beginning of our expansion of the Minecraft universe into new game genres.
Okay.
That's all we have
This
to
is
share today.
news,
So
Joel.
Stay tuned for
News.
Minecraft.net for
Well,
more
and this is
details
the
in
problem,
future.
is that
Thank you so much, Zach.
when you've got all these segments right before really important news segments, you can't tell the difference.
At Mojang and Microsoft, we believe in using Minecraft to build a better world. Through education,
a couple of audio glitches
our
in the
joint
stream
program
here.
with UN Habitat Block by Block, or new initiatives like Coral Crafters, taking Update Aquatic and adding an aspect of making the world better. We've been working to use the game to have a worldwide positive influence.
I imagine the
But
link
we're
they
not
gave
the
is
only
broken because
ones who are
everybody
building
is
a
now
better
checking
world.
it. We're probably
Since the very
crashing
beginning,
pages
Minecrafters
with a
have
stream
been
like
using
this.
the game to impact the world
Not
around
our
them.
stream, you understand, their
Our
stream.
new Meet a Minecrafter
Yes.
YouTube series aims to highlight inspiring stories of what people are doing with the game. Let's take a look at our first Minecrafter, Stephen Reed. He's using
This is the guy I
Minecraft
was
to
talking
help
about,
give people a
Immersive
new
Mind.
perspective on a very difficult
Met him at
issue
Minecon Earth party
by
in
allowing
London last year.
students to have an in-game experience
Really nice guy.
of life as a refugee.
I've always been a believer in teaching the tough stuff. The important thing for me is putting children in the shoes of others.
Would love to have this guy on the
What's it
podcast.
like to be in the position of someone else? So we developed a refugee crisis.
Okay, Talisman, so
learning
thank you for
resource
dropping that link in the chat.
within Minecraft. And that's a series of lessons that the teachers follow and a series of Minecraft worlds that the children work within and follow that narrative. You are a refugee. You have just been forced to leave your home because of conflict, and you need to take a journey to try and reach a safe place. At one point you are trafficked, and another point you cross a minefield, you meet other refugees, you stay in a refugee camp. That's the narrative. So it's ultimately an adventure map but a very dark adventure where children become refugees.
It's really interesting to see Minecraft used for experiences like that too.
Först
Like
trodde jag bara att det var
stuff that really
hoppa på
makes
en
you
båt
think.
och åka till ett annat land, men att det är mer än så.
Yeah,
det är
no,
så
I
många
agree.
mer processer som man inte tänker på. Ja, det är liksom inte bara att fly från landet och så är det över sen. Att de går igenom mycket som man egentligen inte ska behöva gå igenom.
Some of the hardest things I've ever taught, but also I can see how much they love it.
So the ultimate output for me with a project like the refugee crisis is teaching life skills. How do we teach our children to make good decisions about when to take action and what action to take?
In order to create something good and create a world that we all want to live in the future, we have to teach our kids empathy and understanding of each other.
100% agree.
And I think that's the base for an open heart.
We're incredibly proud of what people around the world have done
and that's a pretty cool thing. Like, there's definitely people out there who use Minecraft for things that just feel like it goes so far beyond a game. You know, you've got people who are recreating historical sites in Minecraft so that people don't have a chance to visit can look around them virtually. And in more than just like a kind of 360 tour kind of sense. Like, you can actually poke around and go on archaeological digs and stuff. And yeah, seeing stuff like that in Minecraft is really inspiring to me. It's the kind of stuff that, you know, I don't see myself getting involved in just because of, you know, the amount of other work that goes into it. And, you know, being in the right place at the right time, knowing the right people is how you kind of get involved with projects like that. But some really
Minecraft becomes the language, right? It becomes the connection between the teacher and the other students that allows you to then communicate the message that you want, but similar to how music, you know, can tell stories and how film can tell stories and communicate to people. They're using Minecraft to do the same thing.
This is another mini-game segment, so I think it's okay if we continue to talk over it. Martin is obviously...
I've got my stuff.
He's not quite as flashy a dresser as OMG Chad when it came to his wardrobe. They were like, well, you know, you can put the waistcoat on, but how about you just have like
is Aurelian a Minecrafter as well?
Yes, she was on the Minecraft server, I believe, back in the day. I think she's best known... I think she works quite closely with Twitch now. But yeah, she's definitely been in the Minecraft community for a long time.
So every time you play a Nox map, there'll be a button right at the start. You'll press it.
I think I met him at Minecon Earth Party last year as well. He's one of the guys from Nox crew.
So you've built this from the ground up. I'm sure you've play tested it. I'm sure you've like got strats.
I hope they've play tested it.
Absolutely.
What sort of time do you think you can nail today?
You know, I think we're a really good team. I'd say we can get it.
Oh, she was on Forgecraft with Direwolf as well. Direwolf 20, basically the one name. If you had to pick out one name from modded Minecraft, he is that guy. So yeah, she definitely goes way back. It seems like.
First, Aimondale will go second, and they're going to leapfrog until they've completed all 5 of them. And are we ready to go?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah, she looks like she's got a bunch of modded stuff on her YouTube channel.
Go, go, go!
Oh no, parkour.
First challenge is climb the cliff. It's a really simple parkour challenge with a couple little tricks inside of there.
Oh, doing live parkour must be the most nerve-wracking thing.
Oh man.
I can barely do parkour when I'm just like on my own. Yeah, see, that'd be me. I'd be doing that, getting onto the first jump.
Yeah, see, and this is the kind of stuff that I don't know how people get so good at it, because a first-person shooter or a first-person perspective is not the kind of thing I want to do platforming with.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up playing Mario, so that's the kind of thing that I kind of want to... I gravitate to when it comes to platforming.
Recap? Are you talking about the Hermitcraft recap, Prideceratops, or are you talking about recapping the streams so far? Basically, the interesting stuff we've seen is that there are a bunch of co-hosts who have these little minigame segments. Minecraft is planning a kind of dungeon crawler that's going to come out for PC in 2019. It's going to be a completely different, separate game experience to the current, like, Minecraft as we know it experience. Oh, that was rigged. There's clearly people like messing with those underneath. And yeah, there was a brief segment about using Minecraft in education, teaching kids about refugee crises and things like that.
You have to replicate it on the left-hand side, so don't mirror it.
But yeah, you've not missed any super important announcements yet. The biome vote hasn't happened yet. And if you care about the dungeon crawler thing, then that's the important stuff for you.
There's 5 different ones you can get in this room.
Okay, and what's this on the scale of difficulty?
Yeah, Paranoid, I'm terrible at parkour as well. One of the things I want to do on Decidedly Vanilla this season is make a parkour course that requires potions of slow falling.
Yeah. So, if you do make a mistake, you can use the shears to get rid of it, obviously. But we're doing pretty well so far. Looks like there's only a few more blocks left to go. And with each of these, if you stand on the pressure plate, you get awarded enough blocks.
My link in the chat got deleted. I tried to post the dungeon crawler link today.
Oh, hey, let me mod you real fast. There you go. You should be able to post links now. Sorry about that. I figured I should probably do that at some point.
Yeah, I should do that for my stream as well. Talismancer got it.
Thank you, Talismancer.
Just for people tuning in, if you're late, then there's a link to check out the dungeon. The dungeon stuff.
Also, if you're late, welcome to the stream. Hope you guys are having a good day. My name is Pixlriffs. This is Joel Duggan. We are both Minecraft content creators and podcasters. We do a podcast called The Spawn Chunks, which you can find out at thespawnchunks.com. Link is on the screen. And anywhere you search for podcasts other than Spotify or SoundCloud, but we're on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher, as well as a couple of other places you should be able to find us. We'll be giving our full feedback on what we thought of the announcements and stuff that happened today at Minecon Earth on our podcast on Monday, but this is a live restream where you can kind of get our reactions in real time and occasional sarcastic remarks about how long these segments are taking between actual items of news that we want to see.
Yeah, I think the hard part is discerning when it's no longer a goofy fun segment and they've transitioned into actual news. Like it's
whenever they bring out anybody who hasn't got like super colorful hair, I think that's usually a good
cue well, and I think the main host seems to be delivering the news versus the personality hosts tend to be doing the more fun stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure everybody up here on the stage is somebody that like kids like in their sort of pre-teens will just idolize. So this is going to be like it's like Christmas for them at this point.
No, I got to see Yami do it, but
you just don't know if it's going to work.
This is like my biggest fear, and now it's come true. So
and that wasn't quite under 3 minutes.
So. Oh, yeah, that's it. There's a little bit of like tension going on. So what time are you predicting for your team then?
Under 3 minutes.
Same
under
goal.
3 minutes.
All right, well, I think we just get straight into it and find out if you're full of it or not. So, 3, 2,
all right. Thanks,
one,
Groovy Loopy.
go.
Appreciate it.
And this is your voice, right?
Yes.
Ready for it? Oh, we didn't trigger. No.
It's really hard to connect. Like when you're just watching the same thing over again. It's like we just watched somebody do
skipping
this.
a whole section.
I think this is a competitive thing between two teams.
We're trying to blast through. Here we go. Pistons are out.
I remember
I think
it was maybe Green or somebody was complaining on Hermitcraft about the parkour course in the tag building, and it was there was something above their head, and it was like a rule of parkour courses that I'm not aware of because I've never actually tried any. But you're not supposed to put things above people's heads where they can hit their head when they jump.
Yeah, I think Azuma designed that as well. I think he was feeling particularly like, oh, they've opened the inventory. Oh, tragic. I used to do that all the time when I was playing on Xbox. It's one of those things where the thumbstick buttons are the ones you use to crouch on the Xbox, unless they've unless they've changed the control scheme at all. But I always used to like panic crouch whenever like anything terrible happened. Like I'd react to it. I'd jump when a zombie kind of came around the corner or something, and I'd inevitably end up crouching, which was the worst because then you're moving at half the speed.
Yeah.
So I think she keeps hitting the inventory key by mistake.
What I dislike about any kind of platformer that has these kind of rules is there's no save point. Like, I mean, you just it's all or nothing. You have to do this long trek, and if you fall, then you're basically starting over again. And after that happens to me twice, I'm done. I'm like, nope, I'm out. It no longer is fun for me. And that's not just about Minecraft parkour. That's just any platformer, like any kind of. A lot of indie games are like that. They're basic in their design, but they're very hard, and they're brutal in terms of the punishment for not making the jump.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I kind of check out.
I played Celeste on my stream not too long ago, and that's a wonderful side-scrolling platformer. But yeah, the amount you die in Celeste is kind of intense. It's like you're always dropping into stuff. You just have to have a nice quick respawn time, otherwise you're all at sea.
I think that's one of the reasons why I like the core gameplay of Minecraft so much, is that you can die and you get there's a punishment for it, but it's not as bad as most video games. Like you can lose your stuff, but if you've got the setup on the server, then you can get back on your feet quite easily, and I feel like it's less of a punishment as the game goes on. And I think that's why I like especially streaming Minecraft, is just because it's one of those things where it's just so casual. Like it's a real lean back experience. Like it's one of the reasons why I don't play a lot of competitive games at all. For whatever reason I don't want to say aged out of it, but it's my entertainment interests are not in that realm anymore.
Across the bottom, a nice blue sky. Look at this, absolutely flying through. The problem's going to be is trying to reach those.
Paranor's making coffee for everybody in the chat.
Nice. Are you a fast builder, or are you someone that takes a really long time to get anything done?
I'm usually a very long and complicated builder. Like I tend to, you know, mess around with little details and stuff. Like I can't build super fast. And even in terms of like block placing speed, like I can't just hold down a button and kind of place a row of blocks suddenly. Like I can't do it that way. I have to kind of click instead of. Otherwise, I end up just placing a ton of blocks in the wrong places and having to just delete all of them. I don't know what that is he's putting his hand in, but I'm not a fan.
No, I thought it was like ice water or something, but
could be. They are in Sweden. I hear they have a lot of that around.
They're fishing.
Gross. There's a fish. All right, I'll take it off your hands. Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
This is a preview of fishing as it's going to be redone in 1.14. It's you're going to have to catch them all by hand.
Oh.
Tactical fishing. That's what it's called now.
Tactical fishing. He doesn't have a bucket. Not accurate.
Yes. Unsubscribed. Not accurate.
Yeah. If the other guy's got short arms, good luck.
Yeah.
Yellow team. Yeah, you get a towel. There we go. I'll tell you what, I've got this for myself as well. Look at this. There we go. So there we go. That is Grid Runners Live. The first team doing it in about
I don't know what they could do in the game to make fishing more interesting. Because there's really
let's talk about how that went.
There's only so much you can do.
Have you ever seen the fishing minigame in Stardew Valley?
I think I might have watched you play it on stream, but I don't recall the mechanics of it.
So once you catch a fish, there's like a kind of gauge on the side, and there's a little fish icon that bobs up and down, and you've got a green bar that you have to keep behind the marker of the fish at all times. So it's kind of like you're reeling it in the right sort of way. Recently, Seth Bling, who is a Minecraft creator, used to be on the Minecraft server and kind of specializes in making data packs and armor stand creations and kind of the way kind of the crazy command block technical side of Minecraft, made a version of the Stardew Valley fishing minigame in Minecraft where once you hit a fish, it actually creates this thing using, I think, like concrete powder and armor stands and kind of like moves the blocks up and down.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, looks like we're going to get an update on the biome vote. So,
biome vote.
Folks, if you want to head over to Twitter, and @Minecraft on Twitter is going to be the place where the voting will happen. We have already declared for Team Savannah, so we are actually puppeteering that ostrich behind him.
Okay. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh,
Gonna roll the volume up here.
Show. Yes, the game show. I really just want to see that one more time.
Oh, and he's prompting an action replay.
Oh, poor Stefan. I hope he's learned his lesson. Perhaps next time he makes an awesome minigame, he'll have to wonder if we will bring him up on the Minecon stage again to play out his game in real life.
Looks like they posted something a minute ago, but it doesn't have a poll yet.
I was chatting with my own co-hosts earlier, and we just can't decide which biome will win your support and votes. Maybe we should review them once more. We have the taiga.
As if we haven't been obsessing over this for the last 2 weeks.
Spruce trees and sometimes wolves, not to mention a great place to gather wood. If you vote for the taiga biome, you'll soon enjoy delicious berry bushes, warm, crackling campfires, and wily foxes to keep you company as you wish the night away.
I think you'll find his name was Wile E. Coyote, but sure.
A warm and peaceful place to wander around, especially if you like tall grass. If the savanna is your choice, after the update, you'll be able to sit under the mighty baobab while staring fascinatingly at termites running around their mounds.
I still want to know if baobab trees are going to be a new tree type, or if they're just going to be 2x2 acacia trees or something.
Yeah, reorganization of acacia wood.
If you vote for this biome, you'll be
same with palm trees. Is that going to be a new wood?
Yes, that's what I would like to know.
Shade of beautiful palm trees, while meerkats, who confusingly are not at all cats.
And if it is, what color is it going to be?
What will you choose? How can you choose? With such amazing options,
Okay, the vote is now
decision
live.
a tough one. If I were you, I'd get all my friends on my side and vote right now. That's right, the poll is now open.
The poll
so
is open,
make sure
has
you're logged in and go
a
to
lot
the
of retweets
Minecraft
already.
Twitter account to make your mark on the future of Minecraft and the future of your exploration of the amazing worlds
Thanks,
in the
Paranor.
game. Can puppets use Twitter?
Great work,
Now,
Paranor.
are we going to be able to see like
I can't wait to
a
see what
live
everyone votes on.
percentage increase?
If you go to the Twitter poll, you should be able to click on it once you've voted, and you'll see results. It already
The result
has,
is 100% Savannah.
It already
That's
has.
not right.
I've refreshed the page. It already has 9,700 votes, and it's 60%
Wow.
Taiga right now. Desert is losing with 12%, and Savannah has 28.
Boo.
Hey, what's going
So
on,
it looks
guys?
like,
My name's Anthony.
largely
Welcome to
speaking,
Stats.
Taiga is
To
going to
help
go
you
through.
understand me a bit better of who I am and the person I've become, I will take you back to the beginning.
Foxes.
My name is Anthony.
It's definitely foxes that are swaying it. Although I'm interested to see if campfires have any kind of mechanic to them, and also what ties them specifically to taiga biomes. The whole thing there, the way they're selling it, it sounds like they're only going to be something that is accessible to you in taigas. But why? Do they have to be made out of spruce wood? Can they only be made if you're standing in that biome? We've never had kind of like biome-specific crafting before, except as it's limited by materials. And you feel like campfires, you could just make them out of wood, surely.
My family struggled financially, but my dad would use his last to make
And it looked like in that little animation video that the piece of ground underneath the campfire changed.
Yeah, but then it was grass kind of reverting to dirt, so that's fairly standard for placing anything on a grass block for long enough.
No, I thought it was like gray. I thought it went like charcoal gray.
Yeah, the problem being that none of the art in that is in any way kind of like reflective of
No,
what
of course.
actually happens in Minecraft. So yeah, we don't know for certain yet. But it might turn into like, yeah, if you could have campfires, turn the ground below into ash blocks, and then the ash blocks were something you could take away and build with, that'd be fun.
Few years, right? Years now, right? We've met at Mindvention, we've done content together and some SMPs together.
Yeah, Taiga does seem to be winning. And the problem with this is that now that the vote has gone that way, like, I don't think the desert votes being added to Savannah are going to be enough to swing it in favor of Savannah. So by getting a strong Taiga result in the first vote, then we're probably guaranteed that Taiga is going to win the second vote as well.
Some other things like that. This is like my very first vlog kind of a thing, so I'm kind of
I've got a ton of people tweeting at me being like, "We're voting Savannah." Thank you guys. You
Nice,
are,
yeah.
You are the best.
Team Savannah.
There it is, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Taiga does still have a massive lead.
We all start somewhere. I can remember actually making that, which was just, it's crazy to think.
Yeah, it's evened out a little bit, but it's still 60% Taiga.
But we're all in this together, and we all start somewhere. So with that being said, we have a video to see.
Here come ours.
Hi everybody, I'm in the Littlewood, also known as Martin, and I'm just going to test out my new cameras.
I'm seeing a time limit, actually. It says that there's 11 minutes left. I guess that there's actually a time.
Yeah, they are going to close the poll after a certain point, because that way you can avoid people voting on the wrong one, I guess.
35,000 votes. Wow.
That's pretty good. I can't remember what the numbers were like last year, but I was looking at it on my phone at the time, so...
I just had my 600th tweet. Isn't that so exciting?
That is exciting, Aurelian.
And this is my very first daily Minecraft video show. I don't even know how I walk.
It's so good. I remember pretty much everybody from back then, and it's just really
My
interesting then and seeing how we
first Minecraft video was not that different from my current Minecraft videos. Every now and again I go back and I think I'll have improved so much, and then I'm like, actually I was kind of the same then, just like the audio production wasn't quite up to scratch, like the music was too loud in the background and things.
Yeah, I think
probably
my
a little bit
first-
more mumbly.
I think my first oh no, YouTube was much later. My first Twitch video, I think there's still a clip saved on my Twitch channel, and that is and that's just me doing a little bit of a short world tour for someone that popped into the stream of my first world, the one that I played with Steven for the first time.
Yeah.
Where I built Snake Mountain, and I give kind of like a short tour of Snake Mountain. It's like 15 minutes or something like that. So I should do a Let's Play video of going back to that world. That would be kind of fun.
That would be good, yeah. Be interesting to look around. You get that nostalgia factor.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I would have to try to remember where everything is.
Yeah.
So
And you
the
always
issue
look
that I had
around
with
that
that
stuff.
world.
You always look around that stuff, and you're like, I know I would do this differently now. Like with the benefit of
Yeah.
hindsight, it's so easy to see. Like I wasn't a great builder at certain points, and
Yeah.
I mean maybe not in your
Well,
case.
I also had limitations. There wasn't any concrete,
Yeah.
or at least there wasn't at first. So I had spent months and months building this thing, the Snake Mountain, and then new blocks were introduced, and that kind of stuff. But I think the other thing too is that it's unfinished. Snake Mountain is unfinished, and I feel like I could go back and potentially finish that up, and that'd be kind of a fun little project just for something different.
Sounds like a big project.
It is really big. Well, for example, the fangs of the snake are quartz blocks. Like to give you a scale perspective.
Yeah.
It's big. But it's one of those things that unfortunately looks really cool when you're up on the mountain, but doesn't really read that well when you're down below. So, but again, I could probably figure out a way to make it be a little cooler.
A half stack in chat really wants you to do a world tour with the updated perspective on your old world.
Old world. I've had people ask to do a world tour on the Citadel as well, because I really only walk around in places where I'm building, and I haven't done a tour of the whole place. So unless I walk by it, you really don't get to see it. So one of the things that I remember regretting about the old world is that the old world, just the biome limitation was real. Like you had to go miles to find anything.
Oh yeah.
I never found a jungle ever. So it's the new world that I have. We specifically picked it so that a lot of the biomes are close by. So I'm a little spoiled.
Yeah, if you've got like a specific seed that you want to use or something, then that's a different story. Really, you kind of got the luxury of picking it out using tools and like finding where those certain biomes are. If you don't know how to do that first off, then it can be a little frustrating trying to find biomes naturally.
Well, and part of it felt a little bit cheaty,
Yeah, true.
It doesn't now, but when it was different because I had already invested in it, and I don't even remember what we did. I think I was playing. It's a saved version of the realm that Steven and I started together. So it was an afternoon. I had no idea I was going to stick with the game. So we didn't
for
care
sure.
what we played in. Like they start you off in a little spot.
Looks like there's about 5 or 6 minutes left on the biome vote, so anyone who has not cast their vote on Twitter, Paranor has left a link in the chat for you guys.
Closing in on 50,000 votes.
And remember that whatever you vote for at this point, it is just what they're going to update first. They are going to update all 3 of the biomes with presumably the stuff they've announced for this biome vote. So we're getting meerkats and so forth eventually anyway. It's just a matter of what they prioritize for the next updates.
It's a good thing that Paranor is being so helpful in the chat, because he's Team Desert.
Yeah. He's encouraging people to vote, hopefully, so they can make up that margin. I don't think with our meager 200 viewers, we're going to make much of a dent. But
and at this point, you're just not Team Savannah, right? Like, it's not that you're Team Desert. You're just anti-Savannah at that point. Right.
You don't really get lost in what you're saying. I just used to talk for the sake of talking, which probably wasn't
voted
any value.
Tiger because you don't want termites. Yeah, I'm interested to see what the actual functionality of some of this stuff is. Like, what are foxes going to do? Are they going to be predatory? Are they going to run away from you? Are they going to be tameable? Same with meerkats, same with ostriches. I don't know if termites are necessarily going to be a pest or if they're going to have more of a function. Like, we were discussing how termites could potentially be used to, like, hollow out logs, and then having a hollow log that you could run redstone through or something like that is a possible implementation of them. We have nothing to base that on at this point, but we also don't have anything to base it on that they might potentially infest wood, other than the fact that that's what they do in real life.
I'm sure that's what everybody wants, as another entity in the game that will destroy your builds.
Exactly. Like my first reaction to it was, I'm not a fan of mob griefing. And yes, mob griefing is something that you can toggle, but most people prefer not to because they still like the challenge of avoiding being blown up by creepers. Most people will disable Enderman with a command block because they don't want to, or a data pack now, because they don't want to deal with Enderman picking up grass blocks from the terrain all around them. But yeah, I think termites are going to be an interesting, like, depending on how they're implemented. We'll have to see. And if the vote continues as it is, we'll have to wait a little bit longer to see how they're going to implement them, because it's not going to be in the next update. But yes, it's not like the mob vote where they're tossing out the other 3 ideas.
Which I think is smart. Do you think there's a chance that they're going to be updating the biomes in incremental updates, or do you think they're going to wait and have like a larger update?
I don't know what they have planned for 1.14 in general, so I'm going to wait to, speculate about that stuff until I know what they've got planned. Because if they don't really have like enormous plans for 1.14, then I can see them maybe, doing a very quick update for 1.14 with whatever biome vote goes through, whatever, like in Tiger in this case, with the Tiger update and maybe a couple of other small features, and then 1.15 coming out within a matter of a couple of months. I mean, fingers crossed, depending on what they have planned for that as well. I don't see it necessarily being a yearly update cycle anymore. I see it being maybe sort of 6 months. That's what it was supposed to be with the update Aquatic anyway, because you ended up with the technical update that was going to be 1.13 merging with the update Aquatic, which was going to be 1.14, and that led to it taking a lot longer to arrive.
Yeah, because it was a solid year or more, right, between 1.12 and 1.13?
Yeah, I think it was, because they announced 1.13 features at Minecon last year, but then it only arrived in, is it August now? I can't quite remember. It was like end of July.
July 28th?
Yeah,
July 27th?
basically end
like
of July, beginning of August. So yeah, so it's greater than a year for 1.13.
1.12 released on June 7th, so it was like 14 months.
Yeah,
between 1.12 and 1.13.
I think that's far from their ideal. I think they were talking about maybe getting an update out every 6 months, and that's what they did with 1.10, 1.11, and some people were complaining that that wasn't enough. There wasn't enough content in those updates to really kind of justify a full update. So they sort of felt like a smaller thing. It's funny how much of this presentation right now specifically is about becoming a Minecraft YouTuber. It's like they're giving everybody advice on how to start their channels. They obviously recognize that content creation is such a key part in the Minecraft community. It's not just a game that people play casually. It's a game that people are turning into video content for stuff. And
well, it's a way to share the experience, right? Because if you're, for example, like if you're a fairly young player, you're maybe not on Discords and community chats and stuff like that. So YouTube and putting stuff out there would be an excellent way to communicate with other players in the game and touch base with people around the world, which I think is really important.
Yeah. It's the thing that changed Minecraft completely for me was moving from playing single player on Xbox to playing multiplayer on PC with my friends.
Exactly, and I really enjoyed the experience that I've had on the Citadel as well. But I think also when you're looking for new content, someone can be a fantastic Minecraft player, but if they've got their microphone up their nose, then you're not going to stick around for their YouTube channel very long.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool that they're doing this little bit where they're like, look, if you're new to the game and you want to put some stuff out there, like, don't use your phone for the microphone. Get a headset that's costs you $20, and has a microphone on it and all that kind of stuff. And like, so there's stuff like that I think that some younger gamers that are very into the game might not think about when they go to produce content too. Because like you said, like a lot of these younger folks are going to be looking up to these people on stage and saying like, well, this guy does it or this girl does it. How can I do, how can I follow in those footsteps? And it's nice to kind of have that level of information accessible. It's like the frustration that I had when I was a really young guy following professional cartoonists. You see their stuff in the newspaper and you can't really get access to them. Well, that all changed with podcasting and webcomics. So all of a sudden, some of your favorite comic strip artists were people that you could actually just email. You could
totally.
Actually talk. You could talk to them and say like, "Hey, how do you do this?" Or they would be talking on podcasts and they'd be talking specifically about their favorite pens and pencils and paper and why. And so getting a little bit behind the scenes on audio, video production and stuff like that is really cool, because there's definitely a cross-platform interest between playing Minecraft games, creating content, but then also learning skills like video editing and audio production.
Yeah,
that might actually help you later on in life.
I've learned so much about how to edit video. I knew how to edit audio before because I have a music production background, but video production was something I knew very little about. And now I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro every day, and I feel like while I couldn't exactly edit professionally, I've at least learned enough to get me by in in an internet sense. And
It's really
yeah, it's really cool to kind of get a bit of a heads up from the Minecraft community about what it takes to learn those skills, you know?
Yeah. Just realizing that my feed is really far behind yours. Looks like we might be back to
Don't forget to vote and
news.
pick which biome gets worked on next. Last year at Minecon Earth, we introduced the features of the update Aquatic. Since it's been released, it's been one of our most loved updates. Underwater became a magical place where anything can happen.
Okay, so we're getting a... here's the update Aquatic in all its glory.
A vast space of nothing.
I suppose this would be a good chance to talk about what we like about the update Aquatic. Joel, what's your synopsis of 1.13?
Oh well.
I think it's more just the experience. It's more the experience of being underwater and having it feel as populated as it does above ground.
Is this
or above the surface?
Is this a parody of The Life Aquatic? I think it might be. But yeah, really doubling down on the name there.
Yeah, I know that our streams are not synced up. Like I'm somehow behind. I don't know why, but I keep on refreshing my stream and it keeps on jumping ahead by several minutes. I'm trying to catch up, so I'm not quite there. But yeah, for as far as update Aquatic, for me it's less about the new blocks and the coral blocks to build with and stuff like that. It's just more about being out and exploring the ocean and having that be an immersive experience, as it is when you're walking through the woods or doing some mining and stuff like that.
Feeling like it's part of a more coherent world.
Yeah, because really, oceans were just obstacles in the past, right? They were just something you had to get across or through, or if you mined up underneath it, you're like, oh crap, do I have enough oxygen to get to the surface before I die? Like, I think that there's a lot more that they've added in 1.13 that really helps it be tied together.
Best of luck to you, little guy.
Hey, there's that pig from the intro. That's where he landed.
I hope that guy does.
Oh, and Lydia has turned into OMG Chad.
One of my favorite moments at any
Oh, cool. We got a costume contest happening.
Contest, and we have here on stage our
Hopefully I can catch up.
costume contest finalists. All of these have
Maybe I'll just try opening up a new.
I like the chicken
window.
jockey. The chicken jockey is definitely my favorite of these three, I have to say.
So first,
I feel bad for whoever's in that rabbit. They're clearly like dragging that entire costume behind them.
Lean, how you doing in there?
I'm doing good.
Lean, she's having a great time in there.
Just hearing a zombie talk like that is so cool.
It's your birthday. How old are you?
I'm 11 years old.
Well, congratulations. Happy birthday.
An 11-year-old zombie. That one survived for a while.
Where are both of you from? We're from France. All the way from France. Was that worrisome traveling with your costume?
It was difficult.
A little bit difficult?
He's like, I don't know what worrisome means, but yeah.
Can flap its wings and
Imagine that cosplay in Minecraft would be really difficult.
Yeah, it's if you're going for the natural Minecraft aesthetic, you've got to just wear really blocky stuff and don't really have a lot of manual dexterity.
Great job. This is absolutely fantastic. Our yeah, give them some love.
Oh, the chicken wings flap. That's cute.
Yeah.
This is also a costume. Daphne, are you in there?
Yeah.
I've never really done cosplay of any kind. Like I've definitely I've dressed up for like, you know, Halloween parties and stuff like that, but I've never really considered it cosplay as such. Like I've never gone for like a certain level of accuracy about a specific character.
I don't really like getting dressed up in costumes. I've never really been into Halloween.
Yeah,
that sort of thing. I mean, as a kid, sure, but as an adult, not really my thing. I have a huge amount of respect for the people that do it. I know some people here locally that are phenomenal cosplayers, and they the skill set that they have as far as building stuff and modeling stuff and making something out of nothing or taking something and turning it into something else. It's amazing. It's a true art form. And I think the perfectionist in me keeps me from trying to attempt to do any costumes like that, even if I did get into it, because it's like, well, I don't want to do it halfway. If I'm going to do it, I want to do it so it looks phenomenal, and I don't have any of the skills or any of the tools to do it. So then it just becomes like, nope, that's a 2-year project that I don't have time for.
My absolute dream is to be able to turn up to a like a Comic-Con or whatever and be one of those people who's dressed as like, I don't know, Garrus from Mass Effect, and you've got like the crazy like prosthetics and your mouth is articulated like his is, where it's kind of got the mandibles on the sides and everything. Like people who do those kind of crazy alien sort of things to such a professional looking level, like they could be extras in a you know, Star Trek or something. They've got such incredible costumes.
If you want to see some stuff that's on the cartoony side in a lot of ways, check out Egg Sisters cosplay. They do these big, larger-than-life costumes where it's like a 10-foot tall, like Reinhardt from Overwatch. And the girl that's in it is like 5'5" or something
and
like
there's like
that.
stilt walkers and stuff.
She's on like drywall stilts, and like her hands come to the elbows. You know, so when she raises an arm, it's like the fist is like this. Really, from an artist standpoint, follow them on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you can find them. They post some really cool stuff. Everything's got like LEDs under it. It's really cool.
I've seen some people do some amazing Transformers cosplay as well.
Yeah. There's a guy in New York at New York Comic Con a couple of years ago that did not Transformers, but he did Hulkbuster Iron Man.
Oh wow, that's got to be intense.
He was almost as wide as he was tall. It was phenomenal. Really, really cool. And I have to, if we're talking cosplay, I have to give a shout out to my buddy Bill Duran from Punished Props. And he does a lot of educational videos. So for people that want to learn how to do it. So it looks like the results from the first round are in, and we're going to get an update now.
Yeah, I feel like we're probably not going to get the second round of voting just yet. They've still got a little bit of time to kill. Looks like deserts are biting the dust.
The one with the least amount of votes is the desert. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, the meerkats, though. Sad meerkats.
I have to admit, I was already imagining the desert sands between my toes, the sun shining on my hat, and the palm trees.
The irony is not lost on me. As we sit an hour and 20 minutes into Minecon Earth.
Let's have a look at the 2 remaining biomes that you prefer over the nice, warm, vacation-y biome.
Sorry, Paranor.
Are you the type of player who likes to play it cool? Do you enjoy the sweet taste of berries and rich but sometimes dangerous wildlife? Then you'll love the taiga.
They keep misspelling taiga in the subtitles. It really makes me laugh.
Or
maybe
you will enjoy the taiga with its stripes and its habit of killing you.
Striped biome. Everything's all orange and black. What happened?
I would 100% be up for a striped biome.
So the community is
I want one of those imaginary biomes, like a creepy biome, like from Biome Bundle, where there's got like, you know, roots coming out of the ground and everything's gray and
the gnarled
and
trees and stuff. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot of fun. Good times with Scar building a Halloween biome on Hermitcraft is probably the closest I've seen to something like that. Oh, no, they are doing round 2 of the vote. It's happening now.
Oh, wow.
Even if you've already voted, remember, this is a new vote.
This is a new vote.
Options. Choose your favorite and click.
All right, still voting Team Savannah. I have a fair idea Tiger is going to win, but yep, there's one vote and it's mine. 100% Savannah. I think that's probably likely to change.
Get over there and cast your vote.
Mythical Sausage, that is fight and talk.
Only open for a limited amount of time. Then stay tuned because later in the show.
Oh, they misspelled Jens's name as well. Who's doing these subtitles, man? It's clearly not somebody from the team.
I wonder if it's automatic. Like, I wonder if it's an AI.
I mean, maybe it is, yeah. I mean,
virtual assistant.
YouTube is pretty sophisticated with that stuff, but I mean, they're doing the kind of double triangular brackets when it changes speaker, so I feel like if it's doing that automated, it's very sophisticated.
Yeah. I got to say,
Chad did it, so like,
the level of data crunching that this poll is doing is crazy.
Yeah.
2 minutes, 15,000 votes, and it's Taiga by a long shot.
Yeah, as Loy says, the guy's actually typing the subtitles in as they go. Yeah, I can believe that.
Wow.
There are incredible people who do live subtitles. I actually tried at one point to apply for a job as a subtitler, I think at Channel 4 here in the UK, and I didn't really like get picked up for an interview or anything because I have no experience in that kind of stuff. It was just like an entry-level job. I just always thought it'd be kind of interesting, and I'm a reasonably fast typist, so I think I could probably pull it off. But yeah, like, I guess competitive market.
And even all the way up into the job that I have today is all because I started playing Minecraft way back in 2000.
I really did quite like that segment where they had Minecraft stuff merged in with real-world footage that they did earlier with like the turtles swimming around coral reefs with like actual footage of tropical fish and stuff. It was kind of neat. Like, it's interesting to see that like augmented reality approach almost taken to Minecraft promo stuff when normally it tends towards the more cartoony side of things. They're either using the game or they're like redrawing it as a more cartoonish style.
We are going to meet our contestant. contestants. Hello, contestants. Hello. Hi. Are you guys excited?
Yes. Super excited.
Uh-oh, it's these guys again.
Some introductions for all 3 sets of you. Ifat and Anat.
Oh, this is like a quiz show.
Yeah, seems like it. They've got little glazed terracotta things on each of the front of the team's desks there. They've got, is that orange glazed terracotta?
We think
It's real fun.
Yes.
an amazing ape researcher, and we thought it will be super cool to explore the
I still
field
have
for
trouble
her
finding uses for that block in the game.
and,
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
love gorillas. So we
I've
wanted
used
to
it to make fish tiles in the floor in my ocean monument decoration, and I've used it. You know, when 4 of them come together and they make a specific pattern, like the orange terracotta, they make like a flower thing. I've used that as like a wall decoration thing. But the problem that I have is that you have to use 2 wide builds for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, totally. It's the problem everybody had with them. There is a really great texture pack somebody created where they worked out some really great kind of middle tiles for terracotta that you could use to make 3x3 designs. And yeah, they look really neat, and they were kind of suggesting it as an implementation they could put in the game. I don't think they plan on doing that. But yeah, something
that I was thinking about the other day is that I know you've always been able to create maps and use like pixel art and maps to do stuff, but now that you can put maps on the ground, you can do custom carpet. Like you can do patterned carpet if you wanted to create a corner piece and a side piece. Because you can rotate maps in item frames, you could essentially create, you know, a really cool looking carpet like that would, and you could have it be as wide or as narrow as you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Be kind of cool. I don't know what that would do for your frame rate with that many entities on the ground, but
yeah. It would also be a lot of work if you were doing it in survival. Putting together like a map-sized area for a carpet tile is 128 by 128 blocks minimum.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
I mean, rewarding if it's an important build. Like if you have a palace and you have like a carpet and you want like gold beaded trim on the edge of the carpet, like pretty cool opportunity. And vanilla, like it's not a mod.
Yeah,
it's doable. But yeah, it's a lot of work. I think the challenging part of that would not be so much the details that you'd be drawing around the edges, but like having the middle part of the carpet actually have some texture to it, like not be just one solid color. You'd have to figure out a couple of different shades, and that would be the hard part.
Yeah, you're effectively writing pixel art just on a massive scale at that point. You've kind of got so much scope for that kind of stuff. I've seen some people pull off some incredible pixel art just using maps in Minecraft, and the thing on Reddit oftentimes when a pixel art thing is built, people immediately accuse whoever's posted it of like using tools to import it into the game, because I think there are command blocks that will actually like analyze an image and recreate it kind of thing. And again, going back to Seth Bling for a second here, he recently posted a showcase video of a data pack he created which basically allowed you to take a Polaroid picture in Minecraft, where if you looked in a certain direction and activated this thing, you opened an empty map, and it would use armor stands to basically like raycast the distance in front of you to a block, and could basically render a map-sized version of what you were looking at. And it didn't have much depth and lighting involved in it. It was literally just like it replaces the block with a block of equivalent color for the map, and it just overwrites a section of the Minecraft world. But fascinating look at that. If you guys are interested in seeing what is possible with the technical side of Minecraft, Seth Bling is a very good person to be following.
You know who else is Tango Tech? He did like a Polaroid camera thing in one of his mods.
Yeah, he had like a photo mode kind of mod thing, didn't he?
Photo mod, and there's some other stuff that he did too.
Yeah, I think we even end up bringing up his what if villagers were better in this week's Hermitcraft recap, actually.
Okay, cool.
Herself as a Minecraft block. And what do you think she said?
I think this is what I would describe her as, so I hope she thinks the same.
Okay.
I think she's a little diamond.
It's not a block. I mean, there is a block of diamond, but she's like specifically said a block.
What did you say?
Obsidian.
Oh, basically the opposite thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this is definitely the newlywed game.
It's an honorary point because
Yeah.
it's very sweet. Very good friend.
That was very.
We'll take it.
I think I'm back to only being a couple minutes behind you,
Sneezed at the same time. Just want to put
like maybe 20 to 30 seconds, so that's pretty good.
That's not
That's too bad. I was right on cue with everything quite a while.
That's true. Anyway, Big B, we asked Martin if
Cosmic Dancer, I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. I'm actually kind of enjoying this as well. I think having somebody else to watch this with, having a chat going on, and being able to just kind of chill out and make jokes when we feel like we want to make jokes is making this whole experience a little bit more bearable.
Well, what is it? What? No, it would be me.
Oh. Now, I feel like we should still get a point because the words match. Right? Does that count?
How is the vote doing?
We are looking at 11 minutes left, and it is 66 Taiga and 34% Savannah.
Well, looks like Savannah has also bitten the dust then. I honestly can't see it clawing its way back, but that was fairly obvious from the first vote. Like, if you're going to split the votes up between Taiga and Savannah for deserts, then yeah, it definitely was. Definitely
the issue there is that there doesn't appear to be any potential new wood or other blocks in the brainstorm.
Yeah,
that they sort of present. Like,
I wonder if it would have swung it a certain way for the other biomes if they'd been clear about where the palm trees are a new type of wood, where the baobab trees are a new type of wood.
You guys make Minecraft maps. It's pretty awesome.
I hope you need to ask our kids.
I mean, you can't really add a new tree to taiga biomes because they're pretty dense as it is. But
yeah,
adding a new, like having a rock outcrop or some sort of new block or something. I mean, campfires, I guess, are kind of cool, but
I feel like these don't have to be the only changes they're making to those biomes as well. We still don't know what's coming up for 1.14 in general, whether they plan to overhaul terrain or if this is just going to be like a completely separate thing if the biome vote is more or less nothing to do with what they plan to announce for 1.14.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Stuck as friends for forever. That's how it works. That's amazing.
We're also coming up to 6:30 local time, which means there's only 20 minutes of the stream left.
Yeah, and they haven't really told us much about.
I feel like it's now or never, basically. Once this game show segment ends, I think we are going to have to go into announcements. Otherwise, what are we seeing today?
Yeah, I didn't want to bring it up, but I've been getting more and more concerned as the day has gone on. It's like they haven't really given us any news. It's celebration of Minecraft, sure, it's important. Not arguing that, but it's not exactly what they. I'd say it's not what they advertised, but they really didn't advertise anything. They just said Minecon is happening on this day, and you really don't have. There's a vote. That's all you know.
Yeah,
like the details online were very vague.
Kind of par for the course with Mojang in general, because I think we'll probably talk about this more on the next episode of the podcast. But when I went to Minecon Earth in London last year, when I went for the Minecon Earth party, I had literally no idea of what to expect. I knew there was going to be a Skywars tournament, and that was it. Like, I went back and watched my old vlog, and I feel like, yeah, it all came back to me. Like, there was, like, nobody there really knew what was going to happen. Aside from, like, there are a few mini games you can play, and that was it.
Lauren, well, let's see what Lauren, what did you say his biggest fear in Minecraft was?
I really wasn't sure, so I said witches because they're pretty terrible.
Yeah, I agree with that. Witches are pretty bad.
Is she an elf?
I got the question wrong.
I have to say, like, I mean, I don't, with the amount of stuff, like, there's some schools around here where cursive isn't taught anymore. Like, just having nice handwriting with all the computer stuff that happens these days, that's a skill.
Yeah, my handwriting is terrible, for the record.
I print as fast as I can write because of my work as a cartoonist. Like, when I was doing speech balloons for years, like, you get very good at writing clearly. But yeah, I still have some cursive skills, but it ends up being a mish. Like, there's some cursive letters that I just don't. They're a waste of time, so I end up doing the printed version. Mostly capitals, mostly capital letters. I tend to print.
It just has to be.
It's part of your brain.
It has to be cookies.
Right?
He had a plate full of cookies in the intro. I don't know what they actually asked him because I haven't been paying attention, but it was definitely about cookies.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. It's actually
gummy bears.
They're not in Minecraft.
Gummy bear in your life.
I have.
That was the least convincing I have ever.
Gummy bear.
All right, boys.
All right, gummy bears are now being added to Minecraft then.
Friends, everybody here is good friends. We would encourage everybody at home to try this with their friends. Ask them some questions, see if you can get them right, and we hope that you guys enjoyed it. Everyone, let's do the final
Okay,
round.
everyone in the chat, let's find out if Joel wants this stream to be over or not. Can you guess yes or no?
Lydia, we'll take it back to you.
Does everybody in the chat want them to get to the announcements?
Thanks, Aurelian. I think we're going to have to try a version of that in the
Was that making a face? I wasn't paying attention.
And I'm not sure about Big B's survival game skills, but I
Part of the problem is that my chat is on the other monitor and it's far away, so I have to kind of squint, scowl, like reading the chat.
There's one person saying no. Everybody else is pretty much like, yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's been fun to hang out with you in the chat room, but about 60% of this I either already knew or
from living
it's
in
just been
Florida
these game
to
show
moving
stuff,
to
which
Sweden
like I
to
don't
work on this
understand.
incredible game to making many of my very
Yep,
best
7 minutes
friends.
left for the Biome vote.
Minecraft is
Tiger
an
has
undeniable
pretty
force
firmly
in
got
bringing
2/3
people
of the
together
vote.
and changing lives. Our last Meet a Minecrafter video introduces a company that's working to give even more people a chance to play.
So he's got cerebral palsy. It's a very wide term, but it's basically damage to the brain, and what it means for Ian is that he's got no independent use of any of his limbs. The fact that Ian can access a computer game that everybody plays is it's no longer special. It's actually for everybody. It's very inclusive.
Okay, this is cool.
I'm way behind, so I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, so yeah, this is a segment where they're talking about a guy who has cerebral palsy and doesn't have freedom of movement in his arms and legs, is able to play Minecraft just by like looking at certain. I've met this guy. I've met Mick Donegan. Back when I used to work at Disney, I had the pleasure of meeting a few people from the special effect charity that works in the UK to help disabled gamers be able to play games. They showed a video of a guy playing Minecraft using his eyebrows and having like the left and right kind of mouse buttons being activated by his eyebrows, and the directions were just like wherever he was looking on the screen. It's incredible. Like, I wholeheartedly support the work Special Effect do. I donate to them when I can. They had a fundraising day just the other day. I think some of the Humble Bundle offers for that are actually still going on. So if anybody is interested in donating to a charity, they're a lot like Extra Life, but they work specifically with disabled gamers instead of just, you know, a more general pool of like kids with illnesses and things like that. Special Effect are fantastic. I thoroughly recommend checking them out.
That's really cool.
And yeah, I actually got to try out they had some of the kit with them there, and there were some guys who actually kind of made controllers that made people with like limited ranges of movement, made the games more accessible to them. Kind of like Xbox now has its own accessibility controller, which is really awesome.
I've watched the video for that. It's actually very funny.
Yeah.
If you have an opportunity to watch that YouTube video about the controller, there's a guy there's like a pro gamer and his buddy that happens to have a disability. And
is it the one with Zach Anna and
I guess I don't remember their names.
Yeah.
But
they're playing like fighting games, right?
Yeah, the guy that's got the big accessibility controller, like he talks some smack, and it is
that's
dry.
That's
funny.
Zach Anna and Josh Flanagan. They're both guys from they work with Rooster Teeth, I think, and they're super funny.
Thank you, Lydia. Thanks.
Okay, this looks important because they're all wearing nice
I'm
shirts.
lucky enough to be sitting here with two of our amazing developers. You guys primarily work on the Bedrock version of the game, right?
15 minutes.
So who are you?
Yeah, so I'm Jason Major. I've been on Bedrock for about 4 years now.
And I'm Adrian. I've been on Bedrock for about 2 years, and I help deliver add-ons.
Well, thank you so much for coming along to talk to me. Like today, we're going to be talking mostly about the add-ons. Now, they exist in a version of the game we describe as Bedrock. Can you just give me a brief on what that version is?
Yeah, so Bedrock is the kind of what we internally call the version of Minecraft that runs on most of the mobile devices. So iPhone, Android, Kindle, along with the Xbox, and we just recently released Switch, and also Windows 10.
And you can
This is a shout out to anybody who wants us to talk about Bedrock Edition of Minecraft on our podcast. But we don't, because we don't play it as regularly. We're definitely Java Edition players, so I'm going to roll the volume up and not talk too much, because this segment is for you.
Kind of proud of. But today we are talking mostly about add-ons. Now, add-ons are a way you can kind of change the game and kind of customize it yourself.
Yeah, so about 2 years ago, we added the ability for people to come in and just through editing simple text files, they can go and take existing mobs in the game and change their behaviors. They can change the geometry, which is kind of the shape of what they look like, and kind of mix them up and make a lot of fun things. And we've seen a lot of really cool stuff built with that already.
And I think over time, we've managed to give people more and more kind of power to create even more unique entities or unique mobs in the game.
Yeah,
Right. So one of the new things that we're doing now is we're making it so that people can add their own new entities instead of needing to overwrite an existing one.
Okay.
So it really gives users a little more power to be able to add whatever they wanted.
So previously, if I kind of changed the look of a chicken in the game, I think we have a little video about this, a chicken in the game, and it became a duck, it would kind of replace the chicken. But now, as this shows, you can kind of have both.
Right. So now we have a new spawn egg.
But can you breed them?
Duck.
Is my question. Can you breed these chickens and ducks?
Someone can create using our new feature. And because it's a new entity, it has a new render, and it has a whole new set of behaviors as well.
Yeah, that's super awesome. And that's going to give a lot of freedom to people to kind of really customize what exists in their world now.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the cool things in that is we kind of show the baby duck when it comes out as yellow. So like that's, again, is just editing simple files. So in those files, you can basically just put like a single line of text, basically say, if it's a baby, like use this texture, otherwise use this other texture.
Very cool.
You have a lot of control there now.
That's awesome. We've also kind of looked into how...
Yes, we have this in Java, and it's called mods, but the Xbox and mobile versions of the game don't exactly have the capacity for mods because they're written with a different code base, and they're not platforms which allow you to download mods freely. So I think Mojang making this kind of stuff available to users through implementing a feature like add-ons and having it be kind of an official thing instead of mods where it's like sort of, it's on the down low, I think that's a really cool thing. I wholeheartedly support add-ons, really, because I feel like that's delivering the kind of experience that Java players get to people who, for whatever reason, aren't playing the Java version.
Lighting levels and stuff like that. You can even say things like...
Looks like you can breed ducks, but I want to know if you can breed chicken and
So I
ducks.
think you have you guys made a...
Also, Sword to World, Java is not the version of Minecraft most people play anymore. There are more players on Bedrock than on Java, and have been for a long time.
He's got some bigger friends.
If you just look at the Minecraft Pocket Edition player base, it is larger than the Java Edition player base, and has been for years.
Yeah. And here you can spawn them without using spawn eggs, that's right? This is another new feature we're adding?
Right. So in addition to getting a spawn egg, we also, when you add your new entity using just a JSON file, it hooks up to the commands. You can use it in spawner blocks, everything.
That's awesome. Very, very cool. So we've been talking a bit about the kind of functionality of these new entities, which is obviously really cool and really valuable. But we're also trying to change how people can visualize their entities, how they can
Somebody on
affect how
stage
they
is
look
having
in
mic
the
trouble.
game also.
Right. So something that we've done is we've made it so that in addition
It's all these guys with
to adding a new
beards.
entity, we didn't want to
I feel like anytime somebody's got a beard and like a little headset mic like that, they've got a little Britney Spears mic.
The stage mic, yeah.
Yeah, that's rustling in the beard a little bit. That's unfortunate.
Your own new animations, mix or match existing ones, and so that's something that we see with our next guy here.
Yeah, so you made a kind of skeleton kind of beast guy here, we can see.
Yeah, this one was a lot of fun because we actually got we wanted to show off something that is
Oh my goodness.
obviously not
They've made a
using
centaur.
existing
They've made a
animation
skeletal
in the game. He's got
centaur.
his upper torso, he's got his rear up
What on
animation,
earth?
kicks at you,
Oh, that's bizarre.
and stuff like that, which is obviously new.
D-Shadow Vader, the Hermitcraft panel is not going to be broadcast in full as part of this live stream. It's going to be uploaded to the Minecraft YouTube channel later. Some sections of it are apparently going to be appearing in the post-show, which will happen after this full stream.
Looks really interesting. I noticed you guys
I'm
are
wondering
making
if we're
kind
going
of
to get most of the
scorpions and
information in
skeletons and
this
stuff.
show.
Have you thought about making any kind of nice, cute mobs in the game yet?
Yeah, the next one has something that I personally think is really cute. They're kind of small and furry.
Oh my days.
So this first guy, he kind of brings them up. But there's the little cute guys. So you got the nice little spiders that I added in. I think they're super cute.
They've made spiders worse. They've made cave spiders worse.
And then, but this whole video just kind of showing
Fantasy games and spiders, man. That's always the case. There's always a giant spider.
Custom rendering of these guys. The spiders have a new custom particle effect that can be so you make new effects on stuff. So we can hook it up to say this effect trails and plays on this guy all the time. There's a effect that plays when they get spawned and summoned in the world. And yeah, you can just kind of see that you basically made like a little mini boss type.
They're like, so we've made tiny spiders and all kinds of scorpions.
Pull that off just by using text files.
Just in case you didn't like playing survival as much.
Limitations to how add-ons work at the moment, though.
Yes, so similar to when with add-ons before.
So yeah, at this point we can definitely call it that Tiger has won the vote. It seemed like a very obvious favorite from the beginning, but congrats everybody who voted Taiga, and folks who voted Savannah and Desert. Don't worry, because we will be getting those biome updates eventually. Remember, that's part of what they promised initially was all 3 of these biomes are getting updated.
I think also, too, it goes back to something we mentioned in the podcast, which is that mobs seem to rule the day, right? I mean, if you compare ostrich, fox, and meerkat, fox is by far my favorite.
Yeah, I'm still leaning Team Ostrich slightly, but you're right. I think foxes are definitely going to have the broadest appeal.
Yeah, they're going to have the swing vote, right?
For sure. Oh, I have lost sound. There we go.
Fantastic. I mean, we can tell people are really happy about that.
It sounds fantastic, and we did not hear any of that.
Hands on these new add-on features?
Thank goodness for subtitles.
So the stuff we've been showing today is we will have that out in a beta in October, and we will have it available for everyone on Bedrock later this year.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. That's really awesome.
I'm coming up with the point of the screen now where I've lost sound too.
How add-ons work and how you can get your own creation into the game, check out Minecraft.net, where we'll have more info soon. But for now, I'm very proud to announce that I have 2 very special people coming on who've been working on the next major Minecraft update. Please welcome Jens and Agnes.
Okay, this is the important part, folks, so I'm going to roll the volume up and we'll see what happens here.
How are you guys doing?
Great.
Great? Yeah? Are you enjoying the show so far?
Yes. I think it's a lot of fun.
What's been your favorite bit so far, Agnes?
Yeah, I think the costume contest. I think it's great to see all the lovely costumes.
Easy answer.
And it's kind of cool because the costume contest is kind of a legacy part of Minecon. You know, it's always been a highlight for me, so I think it's really cool we can keep that going even with the new format, you know?
Yes.
What about you, Jens? What's your favorite bit so far?
Well, for me, the best part is that we finally can reveal Minecraft dungeons. So I'm really looking forward to what people will think about it. And I already checked a little bit of the comments, and people seem excited and curious, to say the least. And we have a screenshot, actually, that we can show.
Awesome. Let's have a look.
Oh.
So this is an environment in the game that you can see, kind of expect. So this is
I have to say, it's really interesting to see anything Minecraft related with an actual, like, ray-based lighting engine. I don't really know what I'm talking about from a technical perspective, but looking at this stuff from Dungeons where they've actually got kind of interesting lighting and colored lighting and stuff in there really separates it from the Minecraft experience for me.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch of different areas and environments, and a lot of new bosses and really cool stuff. So
that sounds awesome. I can't wait for us to share more information on that. So yeah, coming soon. Okay, so let's talk a bit more about the core game, about Minecraft itself. Now, you guys have obviously been working really hard on our next major update, and I'm sure people will be extremely excited to hear what we've been working on. So what's the deal?
Yes, so we always try to find like what's a good theme to update next, and this is something that haven't been really improved a lot since its original
Cross your fingers,
implementation almost 7 years ago, actually more than 7 years ago. So the theme this time is going to be village and pillage.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's been almost like 7 years since you've done a dramatic change to the villages, I think, when I checked the Wikipedia recently.
Villages
so
or villagers?
Amazing you're finally doing that.
Yes.
Agnes, tell me a bit about what we're actually doing with the villages. How are we improving them?
We have done a lot of things, but one thing is that we're updating the architecture for all villages.
Cool.
Okay.
So the villages themselves will have different looks depending on the biome. That's right.
Yes, that's right. And I think
yeah, we have a video to show off some of how that might work.
So that's definitely an old village. Show us the new one. Okay, looking a little bit different. Different materials. They've got like Adobe style houses there.
Cool.
Okay.
That's absolutely awesome.
They're not exactly stretching the boundaries here, but it's interesting to see something
So
being
we
done
can
to
see
them.
the actual architecture of the villages is influenced by the area it's in, and the materials maybe, yeah.
Yes, yes. So,
Okay, so this is something we
all the
discussed
architecture
on
is adapted to
the podcast where you were saying like the different villages need their own kind of characteristics. They're made from the materials, from the biome they're in, but the architectural style needs changing up a little bit. It seems like they're doing something
Yeah,
with
the
that.
desert looks good.
BJ says it's a little bit underwhelming, but it's just a start. Yeah, maybe there's more to come here.
Awesome. We've also been looking into the inhabitants of those villages themselves, right?
Yes, and they will get new fancy skins.
Okay, let's take a look at those.
Oh, they've got hats now. Okay, interesting. So there's a more kind of tribal aspect to villagers now from the looks of these screenshots. They're kind of specific specific outfits for different biomes that you'll find them in.
Professions too, maybe?
Yeah, do you think that's going to vary depending on where you take them? Are they going to change outfits depending on which biome you move them to? Are they only going to associate with other people from their own tribe? That's interesting. I want to see more of this from a functionality perspective.
We could have updated the sounds of the villages as well.
Oh, the sounds are amazing.
I wonder if they'll ever change the noise that they make.
That's awesome. Tell me a little bit about how that works.
Oh yeah, so the skins are biome dependent, and they also get unique details depending on the profession.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there will be lots of different variations. And we also do other things to villagers and the village mechanics.
Right.
For example, we want the villagers to be more
Tango is getting smart villagers.
We will have like a
It's happening.
schedule, going to the work, going to a meeting point and stuff like that. And we are updating the trading as well.
Okay, so
I mean,
new
that
trading,
sounds
new
amazing. So
AI for
basically,
villagers. Interesting.
Everything about the villages is going to have more life, feel more unique.
BJ is right. He's saying they're going to break everyone's iron farms now.
And how they interact with the player. So that's awesome. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the villages. We talked about these cool, nice features. But Jens, you said it was called the Village and Pillage update.
Yeah, exactly. And I should mention that one of our principles is that it's up for the player to build the world. So even though the villagers will be more kind of intelligent and have more of their purpose regarding their profession, it's up to the player to make sure they have a good village to live in. And there's more reason for this.
Pirates, calling it now.
Improving the villagers, we're also introducing raids. So it gets a little bit complicated, but we have villages, villagers, illagers, and now we're introducing the pillager.
Okay, cool. And we can take a quick look at what those guys get up to. Let's check it out.
Oh, hello. What is that? Oh, yes. Oh, give me one of those. What are they? Oh, my goodness. Oh, it's killing the villagers. Oh, my word. It's like a tank beast. Oh, I'm riding one of those. First chance I get. Oh, my days.
That looks great.
Are you still really cool looking? Are you still really far behind, Joel? I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, super far behind. I'm only just seeing the pillager thing now.
They look like ninjas at first, but then they brought that kind of crazy monster through.
We refer to it as the illager beast.
The illager beast.
It looks like a
It
bull.
will join the raids and is really, really tough.
So that they don't have a name for it as such. They're just calling it the illager beast. So that could be something the community has some feedback in. They've definitely gone to naming. Like Prismarine was named by a member of the community. So that's potentially something they could get a really good idea from. Phantoms were the same kind of thing. They were workshopping names and people kind of said, like Phanta Rays or something, and they kind of went with Phantoms eventually.
But we've kind of grown fond of just calling it the beast.
So do we know kind of why these pillagers are kind of doing what they're doing, or is that not quite decided yet?
It's one of the Minecraft mysteries.
Okay.
The Minecraft mysteries, he says.
I also noticed, the eagle eye in the viewers might have noticed, that they were wielding something that looked kind of powerful as well. What was that in their hands?
It was a crossbow.
Crossbows?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
So tell me a little bit about
more
the
ranged
crossbow.
weapons.
Is that replacing the bow, or?
No. They are kind of well balanced. So the crossbow is really powerful. It deals more damage, and the arrows
Longer reload
goes
times.
Further,
Yeah.
but it takes longer to load.
So crossbows are
And
a
it
thing.
also comes with new enchantments. Just want to say
New
that.
enchantments as well, which
Great. I
is
think
going
we
to
can check that out as well. Show us the video.
it's going to gum up the enchantment table for anybody who wants to just get unbreaking on their tools. But having a crossbow is going to be really interesting. That thing can one-shot a zombie, it looks like. Oh, and like 3 arrows at once, and it can fire fireworks. That's some interesting functionality. That's something genuinely a little unique. And Alex shooting the audience. People have wanted like a rapid fire enchantment for bows for a good long time, so it's going to be interesting to see how they have stuff like that included in crossbows.
Cool, so that's a craftable item.
Yes.
And say the kind of multi-shot thing there, that's how the enchantments work with the
Yeah, that's one of the enchantments, and we have fast load. And
Interesting how it goes to the center of your screen when you use it too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
I guess that's a good way of implementing it for people who are right or left-handed as well.
Sounds absolutely amazing.
Who switch their offhand.
Can you divulge when players are going to get these features?
So the Village and Pillage update will officially come out early next year, but we are in the Java snapshots. You will be able to try out some things in the experimental phase, but we'll also release some features before the holidays.
Okay, some of those features or some.
No, so first of all, we're gonna introduce cats as their own mob instead of being ocelots.
Yes, so we thought that
Okay.
ocelots and cats are amazing, so they deserve to be their own mobs. And we have done lots of updates to the cats, so there will be stray
So
cats walking around.
what they're saying is you won't have to tame an ocelot to get a cat anymore. Cats are going to be their own thing.
And also, the phantoms are really scared
And
of cats.
ocelots stay wild, and phantoms are scared of cats. Okay, interesting.
Diamonds and stuff.
Not really diamonds. This is a secret, but not diamonds.
Okay, cool.
More cat kind of gifts now.
Lucky Chimera is wondering whether the raids from pillagers will start to trigger randomly. I'm also kind of interested in that. Like, is it going to be like zombie raids, the way those happen, or is it going to be there are actually like roaming bands of pillagers that spawn at a distance? Which actually is how zombie raids work, but zombie raids start in the center of a village.
The Tuxedo Cat was based on my wife's old cat, Newton.
Shout out to Tuxedo Cat.
And you can see the big question mark here in the middle that we are going to ask the community to submit pictures for their cats.
Oh my days! They're having a community cat submission competition. This is my jam right here. Like someone is going to be able to have their own cat as a mob.
You're gonna make it into a Minecraft cat.
As the 9th Minecraft skin. That's crazy.
Exactly. So there will be more information about this, exactly how it's going to work on Minecraft.net in a few weeks.
Yeah, if it turns out to be Good Times with Scar's cat Jelly, that would be incredible. That would be such a fitting tribute to Scar and all the work he does.
Fun.
So we're getting cats.
Or one of Grian's cats. Grian has 2 cats. Mumbo Jumbo has a cat, I think.
Not the official name, by the way, but yeah, we're getting the cats. Is there anything else coming along with those?
Yes, we're adding scaffolding.
Scaffolding, one of the
Scaffolding.
longest requested features, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're adding scaffolding.
I remember already back in the Minecon Las Vegas, which was
Pinch me,
7
Joel.
years ago,
They're adding scaffolding.
during the Minecraft Q&A.
Cool. I'm still looking at cats.
Scaffolding.
So
Yeah, it took a little while. But
Oh, this is good.
7 years, it's fine.
So how will the
This is definitely a Good Times with Scar
Yeah, I mean, the
update. They've got
purpose is,
cats,
of course,
they've got
to make it easier to
scaffolding.
build, so we maybe not need all the weird dirt constructions to build anymore.
Oh, yes,
so
please.
for example, it will be really fast to climb up.
Faster
and
to
if
climb.
you remove the bottom part of the scaffolding column, everything will break. So it's
Oh,
really fast to remove
yes,
it when you're done with
please.
your
This
fancy
sounds
building.
incredible.
That sounds great. So it's giving players just opportunities to make builds quicker and easier and kind of get to the good stuff quicker.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And what's it going to be made out of? How do I craft scaffolding?
They are made of bamboo.
Ah, so a new item, a new block in the game.
Yeah, and I mean, it's
So bamboo is going to be separate from sugarcane, confusing
bamboo
everyone.
forests and stuff like that.
And what else do you use the bamboo for?
Well,
Oh, are they actually adding pandas to full Java edition? Yes. Please tell me they're adding pandas. They added pandas to the Chinese edition of Minecraft already, but that's a completely separate game. Oh my days, they're adorable. And they're not even reskins of polar bears either. Those are actually like a legitimate separate mob. Also, that one just pooped out a baby. Why is that one's eyes red? There's so many things. And they sneeze like the sneezing pandas in the memes. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's good.
Adorable.
Oh my days. Okay, now I'm happy. Now I'm legitimately happy with what they've done. I was like, villagers, pillagers, Now I'm happy.
Agnes, tell me a bit about those.
Yeah. I mean, like a big thing with pandas are that they are cute and they are a bit silly. And we also really wanted the players to connect to their pandas. So we thought that if we add like different personalities or traits to them.
Oh, if I get one of those that I can bring to my San Francisco city, I can grow bamboo there.
Red eyes, that's an aggressive panda.
Okay, so avoid the ones with red eyes, apparently.
Well, you shouldn't hurt any kind of panda. But...
Of course not. But don't hurt pandas, but the aggressive one will probably be a bit upset about it, extra upset about it.
And what other kind of traits can the pandas have?
They can be, for example, lazy and playful. And then, I heard rumors about one that actually is a brown panda. Very rare.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds amazing. I mean, what made you think to include pandas in the first place?
So when we have we essentially have like creative workshops when we try to list what we want to include in the next update. And since we have such a huge community in China with over 150 million registered players.
Yeah, China is going to swing the vote towards anything because the sheer amount of people who live there.
Feedback from the Chinese community and what
I can only imagine that the Mojang player base in China must be huge.
They picked the giant panda.
Yeah, I imagine.
And we
and naturally they pick the panda as their
Samuel
favorite mob.
To China to record the actual.
They've got actual panda sounds too. That's crazy.
And we actually have a little. We documented that.
Wonder if you can use bamboo as a building block.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
模样非常重视中国的 Minecraft 玩家，在一次沟通中有提到是否把中国的特色生物加入到 Minecraft 中，而我们第一个想到的就是国宝大熊猫了。
I think the thing that came second in the Chinese mob vote was crocodiles.
We're at Shimilong Safari Park in Guangzhou, China, and we're here to record the sounds.
Funny that
for
panda's
the panda,
another endangered species.
because the pandas are so protected in the wild and they're endangered. So
And
this
again,
is the closest we get to their natural environment.
Like we said on our podcast the other day, if they're adding something like this, they're trying to give you an incentive to not kill it, because they're going to have aggressive pandas in the game. I imagine those will be quite common if they're going to be protecting the rest of the panda populations.
Mm-hmm.
Also, ER is in the chat. ER, I believe, lives in the Philippines and says they use bamboo for scaffolding there.
What I think is interesting about pandas
What,
is that people think they are very, very quiet. But
Did they say what
a
biome?
variety of sounds.
Jungle biome, maybe?
Potentially. It looked like quite an overgrown biome with vines and stuff, so I'm guessing jungle, but maybe they even have plans to add an additional biome.
So I'd like to
if I had to guess, though, I would definitely say jungle.
我的世界中国版上线以来，受到了众多玩家的支持，而大熊猫是中国的国宝。我相信大熊猫的加入可以为中国玩家带来更多的亲切感和趣味，也能够让全世界的 Minecraft 的玩家和我们一起与美丽的可爱的
Having a
国宝
sub
进行互动，
biome in the jungle like that would be
一同
really
享受
cool.
探索世界的乐趣。
Yeah, it would certainly vary it up a little bit.
They're
Although
actually
hopefully they fix the block updates, because my jungle
okay.
currently gives me like 3 frames a second.
Yeah, that's a lot of leaves generating a lot of visual lag.
I'd really like to be able to speak panda like that.
Never
guy
used to.
in the middle of
It's
that
only
video.
the latest update.
Anyway, this all sounds completely amazing. I can't wait for us to get our hands on it. So just remind me again, Jens, when are we getting these things?
So yes, Village and Pillage will be out early next year. And for the holiday update, we'll have the cats, pandas, bamboo, and scaffolding.
I'm watching the part where the panda's looking at the microphone like it's food.
Yeah.
We've reached that point in the show now, and I think you guys must be really excited to find out which biome you're going to update next.
We already know what the biome vote is. They've definitely gone with tiger.
Yeah.
So I'll roll this volume down. Let's talk about that. So holiday update, we are getting cats are changing. They're going to be a separate mob from ocelots. We are getting pandas. We're getting bamboo. And then early next year at some point, we are getting an update to villages that include the pillagers. So by Christmas, we could be building with scaffolding and feeding bamboo to pandas.
The winner is tiger!
Which doesn't really affect my gameplay.
Not so much, no.
No, like it's one of those things where like, it was 90, to 110 minutes to get to pandas. Like I don't know. I appreciate that it might be not an update focused on older people that play the game, but it seems to me like there's some real potential for I guess changes that I feel I get. You hear them all the time. People are always asking for block updates and new blocks and new building materials and stuff like that. And I like listening to the Minecraft community. I don't know if that's what they're doing.
Well, they're listening to a Minecraft community in China. I mean, it's
well for but for pandas, sure. But you know, I don't know. For me, it's. I mean, I'm sure a huge part of it has to do with how long we had to wait for how little information. Like, I'm sure that's probably part of. You know, if I had read this tomorrow in a blog post, like this is what we're getting, I'd be like, oh, cool. You know, that's fine.
Yeah.
And we also have amazing community panels.
And again, like I find that a lot of the features in 1.13 I didn't know about before it came out. Like some of the best features are like the bubble columns, and I don't remember that being something I knew way ahead of time and was excited about. It was just something that I learned about as it came out, and saw it being used. So you know, like there could be some surprises that come with it.
You also got to consider that stuff like Drowned didn't come up until midway through the development process for Aquatic Update. They weren't announced when Minecon happened last year. We knew there were going to be tridents. We didn't know how we were going to be getting them. Conduits, I think, were the same. Like, we didn't know about conduits until much later in the snapshots in the development process. So I imagine there are going to be features they haven't even been able to announce here either because they're still a work in progress and they're still trying to work out the functionality behind the scenes to see if they can even include them in this update. And there's going to be stuff that comes up while they're developing this stuff. They just think, logically, why don't we add this to the update? And it's not a feature they've announced today, but we could be in store for a whole bunch more stuff.
Yeah. And I think that's where the longer development process and sharing snapshots and stuff like that is a little bit more interesting, because you have that kind of back and forth that happens.
So that was your first Minecon, Joel.
Well, no, I mean, I remember watching some of it last year.
Yeah, and this whole thing, for those of you guys who are watching at home, there's still going to be, you know, uploads to the Minecraft YouTube channel with everything you've seen today, plus the post show that's going to be happening today as well. And we're going to have a developer panel that's happening live in about, I think, 15 minutes or so. The post show is going to carry on for 15 minutes. Yeah, so we're going to be wrapping up our stream here fairly shortly, but yeah, you can expect to hear a little bit more from the devs. Maybe they'll go into a little bit more of the functionality they're trying to include with this new update. Maybe they'll hint at other stuff to come, but I think we have seen the majority of the news that we'll be talking about in the weeks to come. And this is the point at which you'll be seeing some of the panel footage. From what I understand, there's going to be footage from the 4 or 5 panels that they recorded in Boston.
Yeah, the schedule just says developer panel about 10-15 minutes from this point.
Yeah, from what I understand, the that's Rendog from Hermitcraft on the couch there right now. They're going to be broadcasting those panels either like in clip form as part of this, or it's going to be happening later. It's a nice suit he's wearing. But yeah, then I think that the panels in full are going to be available later. And that Stress Monster as well. I didn't even recognize her.
Oh yeah, I would probably. I have it muted. I would recognize her as soon as she spoke, I'm sure.
Yeah. No, I'm so used to her having a ponytail. Like I follow her on Instagram, and she's always just got her hair up. So yeah, no, they look nice and comfortable on the couch. It's cool. So yeah, there are going to be a couple of people talking, I think, from some of these panels. But yeah, it looks like we'll see that separately on the YouTube channel. And presumably it happened live, and there must have been like audience questions and stuff. There was actually an event that.
Yeah, there was a separate event. I was watching Mumbo's latest video, and he was explaining what's going on. And it sounds like some of the Hermitcraft people were actually on planes back home today.
Yeah.
So,
like Mumbo obviously had to get back to work and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Can't have a diff in his schedule for too long. But
scared of that. But the crossbows, like
Stress Monster is like 100% on board for crossbows apparently, and yeah, I'm looking forward to some of this. There's we'll obviously have a little bit of time to digest the information that we've seen today, and obviously we'll be able to like go back and rewatch that separately from all of the rest of the shenanigans that happened in the stream, so we can focus specifically on that bit. I imagine we'll be able to put together our thoughts on that for the podcast, and maybe a few thoughts on the experience of Minecon in general, but maybe we'll skim over that and actually talk about the features, because that's kind of what we were hoping to happen today anyway. Like, we were hoping they might skim over some of the kind of more, you know, family fun time stuff and talk more about the features themselves.
Yeah, I think the challenge that I'm seeing them face, at least kind of reading between the lines, is that they didn't have a lot to update.
Yeah,
like it's we're going to tell you some of the stuff and sort of when we wanted to have it, you know, get to you. But it did not seem like it was, we'll say, event worthy. Like, it's the kind of thing where you could have told us about pandas in a cute little animated video like they did with the taiga biome and the savanna biome.
Yeah,
and that would have been awesome. Like that, I'm cool with trickle down news like that compared to making a big deal out of. I guess that's the problem, is that like you have this huge event and you're just like, you're not changing a whole lot. You know, like for example, the reverse, the update aquatic, that's a big change. Like that's a huge, and that warrants a big event. Like, and I think that's where my head is at right now. I think part of earlier in the stream here, I mean, we've got it muted now, but part of the challenge that I was having is that I was about 5 minutes behind. So you'd be seeing something and be like, oh wow, and I'm just like, I'm looking at a video clip of something. Like the oh wow moment hasn't happened for me. And so it was hard to kind of like stay up to date with what was going on, and also hear what you were saying and seeing what you were excited about and stuff like that. So I know that there's a lot of people out there that really enjoy like the pet aspect of Minecraft, and I know having like interaction functionality with cats and phantoms is interesting. If people wanted to make a phantom farm, just like creeper farm, like you can use cats to deter creepers. Having cats sitting on the roof of your house to deter phantoms, not a bad idea. You know, like there's stuff like that opens up, and I think that's part of the reason why we wanted to do this now and then have the podcast proper be something we can dissect it, because it gives you time to think about, okay, what are the implications of this? You know, like if we have a panda, like what are the implications that we have with that? You know, like what can we use it for as scaffolding? Because that's the other thing that I found really funny, is that they mentioned scaffolding, yet they didn't show it.
Yeah,
unless I missed that.
It may just be something that they're still working on in detail. Like they mentioned the functionality, and it's something where the functionality is easy enough to describe, but it's something that you probably really need to get your hands on to understand its value in front of you. Whereas like if they just show somebody zipping up and down a scaffold, you're like, great, that's not necessarily like an event in the same way that like walking through a jungle and seeing a panda is an event. Yeah, so interesting.
You learn through just deciding to make content.
Somebody's just joined from a Spanish rebroadcast. Hola, what do we think about dungeons? I am interested in dungeons as an experience. I think it's really interesting to see Minecraft represented in a way that feels like it's belongs to another genre of video game. Like it's not going to be a sandbox game. I mean, presumably if it's in the world of Minecraft, there might be sections where like to get through an obstacle section, you have to gather blocks and stuff like that. But it's going to be like from what it looked like, it might even not be a first-person experience. It might be a third-person thing,
top down sort of thing.
Yeah, like kind of traditional,
Diablo.
Diablo or sort of traditional dungeon crawler type of thing. I'm thinking like World of Warcraft style stuff.
If it also surpasses the limitations that we experience with Minecraft as a game, like one of the reasons why the graphics are so quote-unquote limited in Minecraft is because of the sheer size of the world. If you're dealing with a predetermined story-based dungeon crawler, which can still be procedurally generated, like Diablo does a great job of like every time you go into a dungeon, it's different because the segments are laid out at a different point. But with Minecraft, if they keep that kind of blocky aesthetic in terms of a nod, but like we were talking about with the animations that we saw earlier, if the quote-unquote graphics and like lighting and stuff are better, and you have the ability to then be in third person, and not have to rely on the fact that this world has to be procedurally generated and millions of blocks wide, then I think that a dungeon crawler could be a lot of fun because really comes down to gameplay. Like cute games, retro looking games, Stardew Valley, Terraria, that kind of stuff. Like the gameplay is really the master. Like the graphics and the look of something contribute, but if it's not fun, then it doesn't matter. And I think that if you added in the familiarity of Minecraft, that nostalgic, that visual appeal, which then becomes a fun experiment for me. Like if I'm playing a dungeon crawler that's based in Minecraft, that's all voxel based, it becomes like, oh cool, how are they going to handle this? Like how are they going to handle something exploding, like a bridge crumbling behind you that falls into blocks? That's kind of fun, that kind of thing. It could be a really interesting
our friend who's joined from the Spanish rebroadcast says at least it isn't Minecraft Battle Royale like a lot of other games seem to be announcing a Battle Royale mode. I'll have you know that has been done on minigame servers since about 2009. That is Battle Royale is not a new thing for Minecraft. Fun though it is, like I can appreciate like the 100-player Battle Royale thing being a thing of the moment. Like Hunger Games game modes have been on Minecraft minigame servers for the longest time. It's really it's something that's been established in the community because you can have so many players pour into one instance of Minecraft in a multiplayer server. Like it's not a thing, whereas gaming with more than 4 players on a console back in the day was unheard of. So it's a different perspective on that. But like the dungeon crawler thing, it feels like you're harkening back to a more retro style of game. But like you say, for people who are familiar with the world of Minecraft, it might just be an interesting shift in perspective. Literally, I guess also if you're talking about a third-person top-down thing.
Yeah. And again, like that, playing multiplayer with that would be really cool.
Yeah. And the connectivity of it and the other kind of functions. The fact that the thing that irks me about it slightly is the fact that they're going to be including creatures and stuff that aren't native to the Minecraft world we currently play. Like you're going to get bosses and stuff that inevitably the community backlash is going to be, well, why can't we have those bosses in the actual game? And maybe there's going to be functionality to it being a restricted dungeon world where everything, like you say, is pre-generated. It's not like this battle could happen anywhere. It's like, no, the battle happens somewhere very specific so that certain things can happen. Like you can guarantee that a spider boss is going to be able to climb up the walls and is going to be able to stick to the ceiling instead of doing what spiders do in Minecraft now, which is slide up to the top of a block, float there forever and not attack you. So it's going to be interesting to see how they implement that kind of stuff. And I think it's weird now to have them announce a Minecraft experience that isn't already part of what we've bought, because even for the people who bought the Java edition, you get like a free copy of the Windows 10 edition, which is your portal into the Bedrock version of the game. If you buy it on Xbox, then you just get like the base Minecraft game and you can play with people online. But now we're talking about a separate experience, like a whole new game that people will have to buy separately. It's not like this isn't an update to Minecraft that changes the way you play the game. This is a whole new title. And that's something we've not seen them do before, really.
No, with the exception of, say, like the Telltale story games, like that would be
I suppose
that's the only example I can think of. But again, that's it's more of a story selection. Like it's not like an actual interactive, like video game in the sense that most of us would think about one.
Yeah, exactly. It's the point and click adventure style thing. It's its own genre, completely separate from that. And Telltale, as an established company, it's like they were providing their own take on the Minecraft world rather than Minecraft themselves developing something. Like, from what I understand, this was developed by an in-house team within the Minecraft developer base, right? Like, this is them partnering with Microsoft and getting some devs in that way, but it doesn't seem like it's being developed by a different company the way the Telltale game was.
Yeah, no, I would say that they've probably hired and brought people in-house that have a specialty in this kind of game. And, I think, too, that it allows them to control the brand. It allows them to also modernize the look of it a little bit. Like, one of the things that I think is probably a hump for people to get into Minecraft, I know it certainly was for me back when I didn't understand the game, is how it looks. So if you've got something that looks modern and has a purposeful retro art direction, that's different than if it looks like a game that was made in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I mean, I'm spitting out years just for dramatic sake, but like it's one of those things that like to look at something. What's the Pixark? Is that the one that you played with the dinosaurs?
Yeah.
So again, that's a game that looks very new but has a retro feel, and I think that the dungeon crawler, people are making new dungeon crawlers all the time, and they look fun, but Minecraft has this unique opportunity to make a modern dungeon crawler but have it look like Minecraft, and I think that that's probably going to bring in quite a few people.
All right, I think it's probably about time to wrap this up because the developer panel is going to be happening soon, and as I said at the top of today's stream, we do want to focus our attention on that and not have to worry about having a dialogue here and interacting with folks in the chat. So I'm going to mute this and fade the stream out. And thank you guys so much for being here. We've had an experience. I think that's probably the fairest way I can put it. And
it was great to have so many people in the chat room.
Yes, thank you guys so much. This has been the biggest stream I've had without somebody like raiding me beforehand. So I really appreciate everybody coming out for that. Thank you so much, Joel, for sharing this with me. And this is
my pleasure, man.
Yeah, and this is it's going to be great material for the next episode of the podcast. So, folks, it's going to wrap it up for our stream today. You can find our podcast at thespawnchunks.com or anywhere you normally find podcasts, give or take Spotify or SoundCloud, but you can find us on iTunes, on Google Play, on Stitcher, basically any podcast app. You can type in The Spawn Chunks and you'll find us. We have 8 episodes already out. Our 9th episode will probably be out on Monday, talking about some more of the stuff you've seen here on the Minecon stream. Now that we have a solid idea of what's coming up, we can probably give a slightly more kind of processed and thought through response rather than our initial knee-jerk thing. Joel, where can people find you online if they want to know more about you and what you do?
It is really easy. You can see my name below the video here, and it is Joel Duggan on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. I do Let's Play videos with my multiplayer server, The Citadel. I do some art and lots of pictures of food on Instagram, hiking, some fun real-world stuff. And then Twitter is also where I share a lot of Minecraft and or podcast-related stuff. Everything is all at Joel Duggan, including my website, joelduggan.com. So if you want to check out some of my work, you can go there and find it.
My name has been Pixlriffs. You guys are on my Twitch channel, so you've probably seen that. But I also have a YouTube channel where I post weekly and sometimes even daily YouTube videos where I can. I have a survival Minecraft series called Decidedly Vanilla, where I play multiplayer with a bunch of my friends. I also have a Minecraft survival guide series for new players. And I'm also on Twitter at Pixlriffs, on Instagram at Pixlriffs. Type Pixlriffs into your favorite search engine and you'll probably find me, but don't use Bing, because why would you use Bing? Folks, thank you so much for being here. That's going to be all for our stream today. Take care and we'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye for now.
Cheers.